cheers. The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet. Thank you. High five, everybody. High five.
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five.
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by ZipRecruiter.
I'm Cammie McCormick. 5 soldiers at Fort Stewart in Georgia were injured today in a shooting. A suspect is in custody. CBS's Anna Schechter's been following developments.
There's a community hospital within the base. 2 of those soldiers unfortunately needed a trauma care, and so they had to be driven by ambulance to a trauma center in Savannah, Georgia. They arrived around 1:30 p.m. We don't know their status. I imagine their families have all been notified, all know, but we have not heard exactly what the statuses of the victims is.
Fort Stewart was under lockdown for a time. It's home to thousands of soldiers assigned to the Army's 3rd Infantry Division. President Trump imposed some steep new tariffs on India today for buying Russian oil. It came as his envoy was holding talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin on ending the war in Ukraine. CBS's Sam Vinograd.
Steve Witkoff arrived in Moscow with the message that Trump is getting tougher on the customers for Russian energy exports. He may have had a message as to whether President Trump is considering putting tariffs on China in light of its purchases of Russian oil. And at the same time, Witkoff has also likely discussed the opportunities for Russia if it ends the war in Ukraine as it pertains to reopening U.S. investment in Russia and reinvigorating U.S. trade with Russia, which is almost only a sixth of what it was before the war in Ukraine broke out.
A senior administration official says the Russians are eager to continue engaging with the U.S. ICE is hiring new agents, and it's eliminating its age cap, as Michael Wallace reports.
Until now, you had to be under 40 to become a deportation officer. ICE is also lowering its minimum age from 21 to 18 as it looks to hire another 10,000 officers. It's offering signing bonuses of up to $50,000 and student loan forgiveness, all paid for with $30 billion allocated to ICE recruitment in the Big Beautiful Bill Act.
Japan is marking 80 years since the U.S. dropped an atomic bomb on the city of Hiroshima. 140,000 people were killed. Survivor Masako Wada is warning of increasing nuclear tensions all these decades later.
Nuclear weapons cannot coexist with human beings. Nuclear weapons were made by humans and used by humans. So it is also up to the humans to abolish them.
Leaders from a record 120 countries and territories gathered at the city's Peace Memorial Park to honor the victims. On Wall Street, stocks are higher. This is CBS News.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
A collision between planes on the tarmac at SeaTac lands with a lawsuit. The story coming up at first. KIRO Newsradio traffic. In Tacoma, crews are working to clear 2 crashes on State Route 16 eastbound near South 12th Street. Just 1 lane blocked now, but you're backed up over the Narrows Bridge and up to Olympic Drive in Gig Harbor. Express lanes were open northbound all morning due to construction near the Ship Canal Bridge. That's putting pressure on your southbound commute. Travel time Linwood to Seattle on I-5 is 37 minutes, about 10 longer than usual. Alderwood to South Center on I-405 is 82 minutes, about 40 minutes longer than typical. Traffic brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Heather Bosch.
I started screaming, "He's going to kill me."
Dramatic moments as the survivor of a random brutal stabbing at Point Defiance Park recounted the attack in court. KIRO 7 TV's Jason Sloss was there.
Victoria Nizzoli describing the day in February last year when she went to Point Defiance Park for a walk in the middle of the day. Testifying in front of Nicholas Matthew, the man accused of trying to kill her, she says she was alone on a trail until she heard footsteps behind.
Yes, he followed me instantly, and that was when I felt the first hit.
Nizzoli said she was pinned on the ground as she was stabbed multiple times in the head, face, neck, and back.
Bystanders intervened. A Linwood father is being held on $1 million bail after his 4-year-old son found his dad's gun and the boy accidentally shot his own mother. Then, investigators say they found a cache of guns, ammo, and explosive devices inside David Neff's home. Snohomish County Prosecutor Christina Keplinger.
There were a total of 73 firearms found in the home. The state charged 8 counts of possession of an explosive device for 8 different explosives that were located.
The explosive devices were packed with shrapnel, such as nails, screws, magnets, and drill bits. The Washington State Patrol hopes to double its firearm testing capacity over the next couple of years.
Each year, there are about 955 pending cases, but only 628 processed.
The reality is that the needs of the state have just outpaced the capacity of our labs.
The Washington State Patrol's Chris Loftus says they're training new forensic scientists. The State Patrol hopes to cut the backlog by 35% by mid-2026 and 60% by 2027. Right now, the wait for firearms cases is 379 days. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
2 passengers are suing after a Japan Airlines plane taxiing on the tarmac clipped the tail of a Delta plane at SeaTac Airport. KIRO 7 TV reports a woman claims the impact slammed her knee into the seat in front of her and that her autistic brother showed signs of injury. This happened back in February. The Mariners notch an 8-3 win over the Chicago White Sox in Seattle, including this homer by a fan favorite.
Hey, Eugenio Suarez, the pitch on the way, swinging a drive, deep to right field, way back, and goodbye baseball.
It was Suarez's first home run since returning to the M's in last week's big trade. M's and the White Sox face off again this evening. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. It is a soggy day. We'll see highs only around 70 today. It's 65 right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio.
Welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday, August 6th. Jake Skorheim here. Spike O'Neill there. Spike, welcome to the show.
Thank you, my friend. Happy Hump Day.
Yeah, happy Hump Day.
Yeah.
Speaking of Hump Day.
I was going to say, I'm going to give you a segue here, my friend.
Yeah, we got
use it as at your discretion.
We've got a great story about, we'll get to it in a minute. It's about a guy, it's a tale as old as time. It's about a guy in a refrigerator.
About his tale of love.
Yeah.
Cold love.
Here's a funny thing.
Love can be cold.
A peek behind the curtain of what we do here. We have to come in every day and decide what stories that we want to prioritize and that we think are important for the listener.
Exactly.
And the way
above the fold, headline story, headline news.
We call it first things first.
Yes.
It's the stories that are immediately grabbing your attention, things
what
that you're
you
going to be able
know.
to talk. Yeah, things that you're going to be able to talk about with your spouse later today when you guys see each other after a hard day of work, or maybe with your friends at work, or whoever. Maybe you're in your car and you're just chatting to your mom. I don't know.
The last thing you want to do is walk up to the water cooler and not know that story of the day that everybody's talking about.
Absolutely. So we have to decide what that is, and generally we decide what we're most interested in. Mm-hmm. So I come in today. I've got just a spring in my step because I know for a fact that the story that I'm most interested in and the story that everybody's most interested in is about a man arrested for trying to hump a refrigerator. Obviously, that's what people want to talk about. And Laura, she says, no. What do you think is the most important thing, Laura, right now? People are talking about
results.
Primary
we had
results.
an election last night.
Votes are still being counted.
But
Votes
first
are
count
being
is
counted.
in.
Yeah. So we decided purely because we wanted to make sure that we capitalized on his time correctly. Luke Ducey, who's a wonderful reporter, he joins us now. He's going to talk about primary stuff.
Luke, are you familiar with the story of the refrigerator?
I am. We're going to get to the hump story.
Far too common. I thought we had him in for the refrigerator story.
No. We're talking primary stuff.
Oh.
And there actually is really interesting stuff primary-wise. In King County, there's a lot of interesting stuff. Various counties around had primary action. Luke Ducey is here to talk about it with us. Luke, welcome to the show.
I'll go as quickly as possible because listeners are going to hate me. Like, no. I am in the way
of the biggest story of the day.
Get him out of here.
I don't hate you,
reason.
Luke. This is like Christmas morning for me.
Here's another reason.
I went to bed last night after dropping off my ballot, and now I want to know what happened.
What happened? Sure.
What's waiting for me under the tree?
So do your best to stay awake, folks. No, just kidding. No, this is interesting because King County, it's not a great time for their incumbents, right? So you look at Mayor Harrell and you look at who's the attorney general. What's her face?
City attorney,
Ann
Davidson.
Yeah. Go ahead, Luke.
All those
Tell us
races.
about what's going on.
Okay, here's the deal. Okay, and I'll try to make it as fun as possible.
It's fun.
In King County, there appears to be a shift toward more progressive candidates right now. It's happening overnight. And the incumbents, like you said, are either behind right now in the primaries or they're neck and neck. For instance, let's talk about the race for mayor. By all indications, this is going to be a tight race this fall. Has nothing to do with refrigerators. Won't be near any refrigerators. There won't be no cooling devices.
Maybe the candidate who comes out against appliance love will have the upper hand.
I don't know.
Right?
Seattle's a weird place. It might be the opposite.
The incumbent mayor, Bruce Harrell, and Katie Wilson will both advance to the November ballot. There's no question about that. But they are locked in a statistical tie right now in the primary. Wilson kind of came out of nowhere as a candidate. She has taken some progressive positions on issues like minimum wage increases, better access to public transit, affordable housing. And Seattle voters tend to wipe the slate clean, it appears, every election year when it comes to mayor. It's been 20 years since Seattle voters have reelected a mayor. 20 years. The last mayor they did that with, reelected, was Greg Nichols back in 2005. So here we are, Harrell and Wilson neck and neck in their race. You mentioned the Seattle city attorney. Erica Evans, the challenger and former assistant U.S. attorney, is winning big in that primary right now. 51% of the vote. It's the last I checked. She will face the incumbent in November and Davison, but Davison only has 37% of the vote in the primary. Is that an indication that she could be losing come November?
Yes.
We'll see. There's one seat for city council in Seattle. Deion Foster is winning that primary by a wide margin, 53% of the vote. Foster is a social work professor at UW and a former policy advisor for Seattle, beating the incumbent, Sarah Nelson. They'll both advance, but Nelson 14 points behind in that primary. And finally, in the race for King County Executive, filling Dow Constantine's departure. Now, this doesn't really fit the bill of what we're talking about, but it's very interesting to see these candidates rising, the cream rising to the top here, this primary. Current council members, Gurmai Zahalai and Claudia Palducci, both current council members in King County. They're going to advance to the November election. But these are two candidates with some slightly more progressive views.
Do you think that Katie Wilson is going to win at mayor? I mean, like when you look at that, Seattle doesn't tend to elect their mayor more than for one term. Right. Also, Bruce Harrell does have some things in his, there have been stories about him and that whole thing with his niece stepping away and saying the work environment. I mean, I wonder if that's going to come back to haunt him when, people actually have to cast their ballot for him. But he's way more moderate of the two candidates. And in every race that you just highlighted, it's all far, far, far more progressive people who are coming in and now leading. So it seems like that's the direction that Seattleites want to go.
A couple of things here, and we've been talking about this in the newsroom, asking people here and there, what do you think? Perhaps voters are saying, the system is not working for me and my values anymore. I want change. I want to wipe the slate clean. maybe this is just a reaction from progressive voters to, say, the Trump administration, and they're organized in the primaries and they voted. They all came out in numbers. Maybe voters are saying, I use the primaries to kind of let loose, and when it comes to November, they get a little more conservative, a little more pinpointed on who they want to vote for. Or maybe this is a lot of voters saying, I don't care about the primaries. I'm not going to vote. They were expecting a 35% voter turnout. It's less than that in King County.
Isn't it less than 20%?
When I last read right before I came on, it was 18% was the voter turnout.
Yeah, just under 20%.
Yeah, 13% in places like Pierce County. So it's region wide as well. But
which is not abnormal. This is not a big sexy time. It's not a governor race, not a presidential race.
Not hugely abnormal, but maybe it's a combination of all of that together. November will be telling, but something is driving these numbers right here and making these incumbents in King County, really on edge.
Do you guys think that Seattle will go back to? There was this, what was it, probably the last couple of years. The Seattle City Council went a little more moderate, and there was all these news stories about this is a big reaction to all that defund the police stuff, and they want to get more business friendly because the downtown sector has gotten so rough, and businesses are leaving, and homeless issues are way up. It seems like anybody who was excited about that seems pretty short lived, because it looks like Seattle's going back to where it was when all of that stuff was happening, right?
From every indication from the primaries, the numbers we're looking at, yes, it looks like there is a shift again back toward these progressive ideas and away from those more moderate ideas. But again,
as moderate as you can get in a very blue state. Yeah,
I'm so sick of living in knee-jerk flats. I really am.
Are you surprised by this, Spike?
I'm not, because of the low turnout. I find very reassuring, because it seems to me only the people with their hair on fire, the more progressive voters, came out and voted in the primary. And I'm hoping that with an expected turnout in the low 30s, which is still embarrassing, by the way, that 30%, we're lucky if we get 30% of our voters to actually vote. The fact that the extreme progressives are the ones who came out, I get it. But can we give course corrections a chance to take hold? When we saw this, you mentioned the dramatic shift in the last general election away from the progressive to a fault policies of the Seattle City Council in particular.
Yeah.
And all the things about you can't pursue criminals, all the different elements of open drugs.
We were all happy that went away.
Happy to a return to common sense.
Yes, pursue vehicles.
Right. But again, I hope it's because of the low turnout that only the truly motivated, I want change and I want it now. I mean, it's like you order dinner at a restaurant and before the waiter can bring your thing, you've changed your mind. I wanted the fish. Get back to the kitchen. You're never going to get to eat at that point. It's a horrible analogy. I get it.
No, it's actually
pretty good.
A very good analogy.
I mean,
I'm hungry.
Can we give these policies a chance to take hold? I personally, I like the mayor. I think he's doing a fine job. He's had personal family scandals which lay over into the administration and decision-making policies that they've had, and the sense of judgment that he's shown. I get it. But if you lay the troubles in the police department, law enforcement community at the mayor's feet, I don't think that's fair. I think he's actually taken a step to try to correct the issues in the law enforcement and its interaction with the community around here. I hope that when, as you mentioned, when the primary is over and the general comes, that more people have follow through on that return to common sense, and not just knee-jerk us back to off the edge of a cliff with progressive policies in this town.
It will be interesting, though, because I agree with you. I do think that he's, of the two candidates, I think that he's probably a much safer bet for Seattle's long-term success.
Is he flawed? Of course.
Than Katie Wilson is.
Yes.
Than Katie Wilson is. But all the indicators are that people in Seattle don't really care about that. Seattle doesn't like to elect a mayor for the last 2 decades more than once. They go, let's try something new.
We are knee-jerk flats. I'm serious.
What does everyone say? You'll hear a politician say this all the time. Can you sit there and say, is my life better than it was like a year ago or the last administration or the last 4 years?
3 years ago. Is life
that's
better?
Subjective, it's all. So who knows where people land on that? I mean, what their lives are like. But there are a lot of issues that, like from homelessness to affordable housing to, the economy is going to be coming up here soon because the city is looking at about $176 million deficit that they've got to deal with over the next 2 years. So what does that stem from, and what about spending, and how does that affect your life?
The mayor's proposing a new B&O tax to help and how's that going to play with voters?
It's funny because Katie Wilson, I think she was on John Curley's show recently, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Her
sitting in this chair.
Her campaign was kind of floundering a little bit. And then when Mamdani got the nod in New York and when he started doing well, that like kind of injected her campaign with a lot of excitement because they're often compared to each other, very similar. And so it'll be, is Seattle going to do that? For one, I don't live in Seattle for just this reason. I love the city. I've worked here and lived here more than half of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't live here now. I hope the city does well. I hope it succeeds. But these are very interesting choices that I'm not really surprised by, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
This is kind of what I expected was going to happen, but we'll see how it plays out.
I take some comfort in the fact that since it was a very low turnout and progressives seem to be winning the day, that that Holmes and the mayor are in a statistical tie. I think it's a good sign for the mayor. I think when the more moderate voter turns out in the general, he should be okay. Depending upon a lot can happen between now and
That's
November.
tough though with an incumbent. An incumbent should be stronger. He should actually be doing better if he's going to do better in the general election.
I hope so. Again, might just be the type of voters that turned out in the primary. I could be wrong.
We'll see what happens. Luke Ducey, you made that fun and exciting.
I tried to, and and who knows who is to blame for refrigerator issues. Well,
Yeah.
you say the word. I'm not going to say the word.
Refrigerator love. We could
There
say
you
it.
go.
Yeah, sure.
Refrigerator love.
Appliance
Was it
interactive
Was it
appliance love.
moderate politics? Was it radical politics?
I think
Was
it's
it progressive
economic
politics?
stress.
What's going on?
This feels radical to me. I don't see a lot of people doing this with refrigerators.
Well, I think
so
when
this
you
does
can't
feel
afford
radical.
when you can't afford to take a partner out on a date, when you can't afford to treat someone nice, have a home
Naturally-
together, what are you going to
where do
turn
you
to?
go?
A low impact, low cost partner.
Actually, it's
with
probably,
a warranty.
Probably not low cost, actually. These are big industrial refrigerators. This was a Trader Joe's.
Aim high, buddy.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to dream.
This was a story. When I saw this instantly, I was like, oh my gosh, this is tailor-made for our show. It's almost like we paid this guy to go out and do it. We didn't.
No, let's make that officially.
Here's what happened. On August 5th, which was yesterday, if my math's correct, 2:15 p.m. This is from the SPD blotter. I'm just going to read it. It's pretty funny. At 2:15 p.m., patrol officers responded to the 1700 block of East Madison Street following a report of a man using racial slurs and brandishing a knife at security. Shortly thereafter, he also threatened to kill everyone in the store. Security guard confronted the man for allegedly, we can say this word, right? Humping?
Yeah,
for allegedly humping a
copulations. You can pick that one too.
Sure.
Maybe people wouldn't know what we mean.
Rubbing up against
There you
a
go.
refrigerator and attempting to do the same to a customer. When challenged, the suspect became upset and he kicked a flower display. He also threw apples, which is a real shame. As soon as I saw this, I was like, man, if I had a nickel for every time I saw this story. But the suspect's life might be getting a lot harder. This is all according to SPD blotter. If he is not allowed to come within 500 feet of a refrigerator, that's fine.
Oh man, who wrote this? Is from the Seattle Police.
Seattle
blotter?
Police, yeah.
Awesome.
Detectives in the homicide and assault unit will be assigned to this case. What do you think about this, Spike? 33-year-old guy. What's going on in this guy's life that he has to go to trade? Now, don't get me wrong. I love Trader Joe's.
I do too.
I was just in there the other day, and they got fun stuff.
Well, apparently
But I've
too
never
much.
looked twice at a refrigerator in there.
Well, the guy's wielding a knife. He's threatening. The appliance interaction is the least frightening part of the story to me.
Really?
Guy had a knife. He's threatening customers' lives. He's spewing racial slurs around the store. I have a problem with all
that's a dime a
those.
dozen. I see that every day. Or I hear about it every day, at least. I mean,
You guys,
the
you're not
romantic
on the same
interludes-
groups I am on social media. 'Cause I see
romantic
clients
interludes
loving.
with the refrigerator. That caught the eye.
Yeah, it really.
That really caught the eye.
You ever had your tongue stick to like a frozen? Remember the frozen pole?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's it called?
The Christmas story. Yeah, you bet. Guy's
Duck,
lucky. Guy's lucky.
Duck,
right?
Duck.
We should have played audio from the incident.
Tale as old as time.
Oh my gosh. No.
True as it can be.
It really is.
Oh no, this is just wrong.
Barely even friends. Then somebody bends unexpectedly.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
Inanimate objects did come to life in that movie.
You're right. You're totally right.
I see a project development idea here. Yeah,
That's crazy. Great connection, Laura. I didn't even think about that.
Beauty in the Freeze.
What kind of a refrigerator do you think it was? That's probably
The
doesn't.
Norge, those round corners, curves, big strong handle out front. The old Norge. You bet.
What do you do in that situation? I guess they handled this correctly. You see, I mean, you call security guard.
I think you put up some of those wet floor signs to keep people away.
Sure.
First off, right? Clear the area.
Yeah.
I think you let it play out. I think you let it play out.
No. No,
The
You know,
floor
you-
will
you-
definitely be wet
you put-
if you let it play out.
Well, there you go.
Spoil that
You
food.
put other items on sale in other parts of the store to draw attention away from this. You know? I mean,
Just do your best.
confronting the guy almost got somebody stabbed.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
That's true.
What was he
Do you think
hurting?
that's why he got so upset? It's like,
Well,
you know,
hey,
he's in the
I'm
middle
in the
of
middle
whatever
of
he's
this.
doing.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of something
Hey,
here.
buzz off.
Right.
Yeah.
Where's my privacy?
I don't think it's right. I don't think he should have done that. That's just me. I don't want to
no.
sound crazy, but I don't think he should have.
I don't think you're crazy to feel that way. I think it's a pretty solid
There's no way to
position
go
take.
through life, son. 33-year-old. Humping refrigerators, racial slurs,
You're hot, then
brandishing
you're
a knife.
cold. Yes, then you know.
Don't do it. That's just advice that I would give. And I'm
Sure.
a dad, and I
Yeah.
have 4 sons. This is
Yeah.
advice I would give my sons.
Cautionary tale.
This is advice I would
Yeah.
give anybody out
You
there.
bet. You bet.
Trader Joe's is a great store, but it's not meant for this at all.
They deserve better.
Yeah, they deserve better.
In fact, I can't think of a grocer franchise I'd wish this upon.
No.
None of them.
No.
And I hate some of those places.
Absolutely.
But I still wouldn't wish this on them.
100%, I agree with you. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Who do we have next? Mike Lefko. Guess who's coming back into town tomorrow night?
Mike Lefko?
Not Mike Lefko.
Oh, I know this.
Pete Carroll.
It's football season.
Football season.
Right around the
Pete
corner.
Carroll, Geno Smith.
Oh,
What are the odds that they
wow.
end up being?
Isn't that crazy?
First game back is in Seattle.
It's Kismet.
That's great.
Beautiful.
Here's a question for you, and I'd love to get your response to this on the text line. This is an assignment that you all need to fulfill. How do we receive them back in town for the first time?
Okay.
Is this a cheers or a booze situation? 888-973-5476. 888-973-5476. Do you cheer Pete Carroll and Geno Smith, or do you boo them, or do you cheer them for like a minute and then boo the heck out of them?
Acknowledgement.
All right.
There you go. Okay.
We'll get into that next. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
While you're getting ready every morning, make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
Hey, Spike O'Neill for Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens. You know, my vision, I've told you before, was perfect. All my life, I had eagle eyes, 20/20 vision. And recently, I'd say about 10 years, looking back in honesty, I had loss of vision. I needed readers. And I knew it was time to do something about it. So I called the offices over in Bellevue of Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens, had an appointment, had a thorough exam, and they found that I had the beginnings of cataract. And I was a perfect candidate for refractive lens exchange, RLE surgery. Simple procedure, one afternoon, in and out, couple weeks of recovery. And now I'm not kidding, the best vision of my life. Not just 20/20, it's better. I got 20/10 vision. I will never need readers again, and I will never develop cataract. If it's time for you to take a look at how you could be seeing the world better, call Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens today at 425-451-2020. Visit their Bellevue offices. Go over and take a look for yourself. 425-451-2020. You can find them online at sharp-vision.com. That's sharp with an e-vision.com. Official eye care providers of Sounders FC.
Need a new roof, a deck, siding, windows? Get up to $3,000 off any new installation. Hi, it's Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Home projects can add up fast, but we're here to help you save big. Book now and lock in up to $3,000 off in savings. That's $3,000 off any new installation. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com to schedule your free estimate today. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your priceless vinyl collection. Sure, you sleep on a futon because the money most people would have spent on a bed you spent on more records. But forget the fact that you can stream just about any song ever created for a few dollars a month. No, you need to listen to music in the most difficult way possible. So go ahead and get Progressive so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Are you finding it hard to stay cool in your home during hot weather? The issue is likely your window's poor quality and lack of heat deflecting technology. Adrian here, owner of Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Our windows are 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards and come with high-performance Sun Matrix glass, which can help keep the summer heat out. Combined with our Leak Armor installation, your comfort will be secured for a lifetime. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Save up to 25% on new air conditioning and heat pump systems during the final days of Home Comfort Alliance warehouse clearance sale. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
CBS News special report. Fort Stewart in Georgia was under lockdown earlier today. 5 soldiers were shot. The alleged shooter is in custody. Reporter Madeline Bierster outside the base.
Official word that the gates have all since been reopened. They have been given the all clear. Traffic is flowing in and out as normal from the base.
CBS's Chanel Call.
The Army had advised people that were on the base to stay inside, to close and to lock their doors and the windows before the shooter was apprehended.
We don't know the condition of the injured soldiers, though 2 were transported to a trauma hospital in Savannah. Former FBI agent Tim Gallagher says they would have had good care.
When we're training people how to react to an active shooter, we're like talking about that first aid, that stopped the bleed. On a military base, people in that room would have been trained in that. So the initial triage that was handled on site, the initial aid that was given, none better.
The suspect is a male Army sergeant. CBS News special report. I'm Cammie McCormick.
And I'm Heather Bosch. We're learning about vandalism and a possible arson at an ICE facility here in Washington State.
The Department of Homeland Security posted on X that a building that includes an ICE sub-office was damaged on Saturday when a rock got thrown through a window and a small fire was set at the rear. This was in Yakima. Local investigators are treating the incident as a suspected arson. No one got hurt. It's not clear if ICE personnel were targeted. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Primary election results are coming in. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey looks at which candidates are heading to the November ballot in King County.
A heated race for mayor in Seattle. Incumbent Bruce Harrell and challenger Katie Wilson are locked in a statistical tie in the primary, both advancing to November. Starting today, they'll be battling for every vote from candidates who didn't make the cut. In the Seattle City Attorney race, Erica Evans made a strong showing, winning 51% of the vote. She'll face incumbent Ann Davison, who secured 37%. For King County Executive, council members Gurmai Zahalai and Claudia Balducci will move on to November. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
In Auburn, Mayor Nancy Backus will face either Yolanda Trout or Ronnie Morgan. It's too close to call. In the open seat for Tacoma Mayor, Anders Ibsen will face John Hines. And in Everett, City Council member Scott Murphy and two-term Mayor Cassie Franklin are headed to the November election. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 146 points, NASDAQ ahead 265. KIRO News Radio traffic. In Kirkland, a disabled vehicle's blocking a lane on I-405 southbound at Northeast 70th Street. You are slow through Totem Lake. In Tacoma, you've got 3 cars off in the median after they crashed. This is partially blocking the southbound 705 on-ramp to northbound I-5. Also in Tacoma, 1 lane still blocked after a crash on State Route 16 eastbound near South 12th Street. You're still slow all the way into Gig Harbor. Express lanes were open northbound all morning due to construction near the Ship Canal Bridge, putting pressure on your southbound commute. Travel time Linwood to Seattle on I-5 is about half an hour longer than usual. So is Alderwood to South Center on I-405. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are having one soggy day. We'll see highs today only topping out around 70. It's 65 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. Very excited to have Mike Lefko from 710 Seattle Sports on with us. Mike, Seahawks preseason starts tomorrow night.
Yeah, it does.
And they are playing a familiar face, couple of familiar faces. Who's coming into town? Tell us a little bit about this.
More than a couple. Actually, you might have forgotten about this or not even paid attention. We have to pay attention to things like this. So Jamal Adams has also signed with the Raiders.
I saw
that.
that.
So it's Pete Carroll,
that's great.
Geno Smith, and Jamal Adams.
Just former Seahawks.
And none of them are probably playing.
So we're going to get to see. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Seriously? But I was going to say, we get to see what it would look like if we had all these guys still. So we can compare like current Seahawks to old Seahawks.
Nah, you're not going to.
Here's a question for you.
Good.
Do you think fans are going to greet them warmly, or will they greet them in the way that sports fans typically greet people who leave?
Well, it's the preseason, so it does not matter at all. So, I don't know. I don't think that any fan would boo in a situation like that. You're not winning. I mean, you're not playing to win. The players who will be playing are the second string, the third string. Starters are not even playing in this game for the Seahawks. Pete Carroll was very evasive. He had a Pete Carroll answer. They asked him. The Raiders media, it's very funny to see them kind of learn about Pete Carroll. Someone yesterday put out there, Pete Carroll says the starters will play. And then he had put the actual quote, and it says, we're all going to be ready to go. And everyone has kind of nitpicked that and said, well, actually, he didn't say that. And so, yeah, everyone's now pointing it out. And the guy had to backtrack and say, okay, actually, I went back and listened. He didn't actually say the starters will play. So it seems like they're not going to play. And Pete Carroll's just all excited to be back here. Yeah, I think you should absolutely cheer Pete Carroll. I mean, why not? It wasn't him leaving. I mean, he led this franchise to the greatest stretch in Seahawks history, and it's a preseason game, so it doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt the Seahawks in the standings.
What's different when Russell came to town as a Denver Bronco in the season opener? The game mattered.
Very contentious exit as well.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any animosity on the part of Pete Carroll. He didn't. Sorry, on the fans on the part of Pete Carroll. It's not like he wanted out. It's not like he chose to leave.
No, it was,
the Seahawks
very much showing the door. Yeah,
I would have a tough time. Appreciation.
I would have a tough time booing against Pete Carroll. Preseason, you're right. Preseason would be tough to boo against.
Now I'll tell you something.
Regular season, I'd boo the hell out of him all game, but still be glad that.
I bet, knowing fans, they boo Geno Smith on Thursday.
Tomorrow.
What's the sideline?
Oh, there's a big difference because he wanted out. He asked for a trade. There was a pretty, contentious exit because he came in and said, I want to be traded. He wasn't going to negotiate in good faith with a contract. The Seahawks sat down and tried to send an offer to him, and depending on who you believe. We'll never get the true side of the story because we aren't in the room. But the Seahawks came out and said, and it has been corroborated by reporters who, maybe they're getting the information from the Seahawks front office, but the Seahawks said we presented him an offer. And Geno Smith and his camp never came back with a counteroffer. They just said, nope, walked out of there.
We're leaving.
Yeah. And it was a very fair offer. So Geno Smith not wanting to negotiate in good faith and then kind of forcing his way out, yeah, I could see some animosity still lingering there.
Mike, let me ask you about the restriction of preseason games down to 3 games.
Yeah.
And since, no starters will play in the first game, it really limits the amount of time these guys get on the field, get ready for the season. I understand it's a health concern reason to do this. Joe Burrow, for example, from the Bengals, said he's going to play more this preseason. He's going to get a lot more field time this preseason because the Bengals started horrible last year. And they're losing. They were 4-8, won their final 5, and didn't even make the playoffs. Are the starters getting the time they need with a 3-game preseason?
You could argue 2 ways about that. I don't think they are getting enough time from the perspective of you want to avoid Russ, but you have to look at it from the investment standpoint, from a coach or GM perspective. It's a 17-game regular season and then at least 3 playoff games. So say even if you get a 1 seed, then you expect to go play in the Super Bowl. So you're playing 3 playoff games, divisional round, championship game, Super Bowl. That is a grind. That's wear and tear on a body. You have multi-million-dollar investments now. With the way you're paying these starters, you're paying, even a cornerback, you're paying $16, $17 million a year. A quarterback, you're paying $40 to $50 million a year. So they don't want to risk it. They do not want to risk a guy getting hurt in a quote meaningless game.
But there was such an increase in injuries over the last couple of years in the early season because guys weren't used to the contact, weren't ready for contact football.
Well, and I don't think playing in the preseason would change that because still
really?
If you play
Get
them in the
more hits?
preseason, you're playing 1 drive or 2 drives. That would never change. Like even when starters played, they would play a couple drives, then maybe they'd play a quarter. And you're not really having them get hit. So the fear is if some catastrophic injury happens in a preseason game, you don't really have the justification of saying, well, it's in the normal flow of this is a game that matters. Sure, it's 1 game or 1 game, and if they were going to get hurt, maybe you could say, hey, it was bound to happen eventually, and that's just a fluke in a bad situation. But coaches and GMs do not want to put their jobs on the line and say, well, look,
I put
look
this
at what
guy on the
happened.
field.
Because think about it. Think about us, all of us on mics and all the fans sitting here. The outrage that would happen if for some reason, and it's not going to happen because Sam Darnold's not going to play on Thursday, but if Sam Darnold went in there on Thursday and some catastrophic injury happens, this big acquisition, the signature of the offseason where you had to get rid of your quarterbacks, you brought in a new one, and he gets hurt and is out for the season, before he even plays a meaningful game, you just get railroaded out of here.
Well, then why do you play him at all during the preseason? That dynamic doesn't change in game 3.
They don't play in the preseason anymore. Most teams, most coaches have gone to not playing them in the preseason. So what they do, a lot of coaches and teams have gone to these joint practices, and the Seahawks are doing it with the Packers at the end of the year, where you can work situationally, 1s versus 1s in a structured setting. So you say, hey, we want to work on a 3rd down offense. And then that defense will go up against the Packers offense or vice versa. Or if Mike McDonald goes to Matt LaFleur, the Packers coach, and says, look, we really want to work a 2-minute drill. So they'll put their defense in there, and they'll go full all out, and you will hit a quarterback. You probably won't tackle him to the ground, but you'll go after him. You'll try to hit him. You'll have guys kind of fighting and pushing and shoving like it would be in the regular season, but it's in a structured environment, and it's a setting where they work to try to minimize any fluke injury. It's really the fluke injury you're trying to avoid. And in a game-like situation, that happens more often than not because you guys flying down the field or in the line where you have linemen getting blocked into each other. So if someone just gets blocked into the quarterback and a leg rolls up, you're not going to have that necessarily in these structured practice settings. So joint practices become a big thing. The Seahawks did that last year with Mike McDonald. They went to Nashville. They practiced with the Titans a couple of times. Now they're doing it with the Packers. So that seems to be the way of teams now, instead of saying this preseason game, it's just too much could go wrong.
We're almost out of time, but you've been down there preseason most days now, right?
Yes, we've been at training camp for the past few weeks.
How are the Seahawks looking? How are you feeling about the season?
Still a lot of uncertainty about the offense, and you want to see how they all do in a game setting. And as I just said all this about the preseason, you might not get any of that until the season begins. No, Mike McDonald did make a distinction of saying he wasn't going to play the starters, but that doesn't mean all 22 guys who might start the first game. So I do like that. He said Gray Zabel, the first-round pick, the left guard, who you expect to be kind of plug and play to start the season, You got to get him some reps.
They'll get some, yeah.
He's a rookie, so he's going to play a little bit just to get close to the speed of the NFL. So, yeah, there's always that worry of like, well, you don't want Gray Zabel to get hurt either in preseason game, but at some point, he has to play against NFL competition before starting week 1 when it matters for real. So I think you will see a few guys like that. Defense looks amazing because year 2 under Mike McDonald, all the talent is on that side of the ball, all the proven talent. Very excited about the defense. The offense is just going to be kind of a giant unknown until it gets out there.
Defense won us our last championship, our only championship.
Yeah, it's exciting times.
I mean, some
the
of the
defense
teams
won the
win.
Eagles a Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, it did.
That's right. Defense wins.
Well, they had
Hang
the
your hat
NFL's
on
leading
that.
rusher. It didn't hurt.
All right, Mike, appreciate you coming in. That's Mike Lefkoe, 710 Seattle Sports.
Yeah.
We got a lot more coming up. Super huge guy in our industry is possibly done.
I've heard him called the king of all media.
The king of all
over
media.
the course of his career. Being shown the door?
Is this another Stephen Colbert situation? We'll talk about it next. Stick around.
KIRO News Radio, the Northwest's trusted news source.
Get the latest from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
It happened Wednesday morning just after 6 o'clock.
Experienced voices you trust.
Several people hurt after a violent Saturday in Pierce County.
Coverage you depend on.
More from KIRO News Radio's Matt Markovich.
It's as close to a veto warning as you could possibly get.
KIRO News Radio. We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Hey, I want to tell you a sellwithwes.com success story. Wes Jones knows how important your home sale can be for your future plans. So when he got a call from Susan in Federal Way, he was eager to step up and help her sell her home of 25 years.
Her house was her biggest asset, and this home sale was super meaningful for her. So she's like, I know that I'm leaving money on the table in the condition that it's in. Like, what can we do?
I told him up front that I did not have the time or finances to do what needed to be done. And he immediately jumped in with, well, I do.
He told her about their Listing Boost concierge service.
And we identified probably 4 or 5 major things.
It just was all so fast. They did everything.
I'm a son of a builder, and I've done a lot of flips over the years. So this is work that we actually like to do. We are seeking this out.
And I would just tell anybody, here's his phone number, give him a call. He'll take care of it.
So if you're in the market to sell your home, do what Susan did. Check out Wes Jones and his team at sellwithwes.com. Sell with Wes, a better way to sell your home.
The summer warehouse clearance sale is on now at Bob's Heating. We have an overstock of 2024 cooling equipment, and everything must go. Save 30% on all 2024 air conditioners and heat pumps while inventory lasts. Once these units are gone, they're gone. So now is your chance to save. As temperatures start to heat up, we'll help you cool down with our summer warehouse clearance sale. Call Bob's for your free estimate today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Was drafted in 1999 by the Philadelphia 76ers, and that was just absolutely a dream come true.
Todd's playing in the NBA is unique. His battle with neuropathy is not.
I first started noticing problems a couple of years into my NBA career, and I felt like my sock was just balled up right in the arch of my foot, and there'd be areas of burning and tingling, and then there'd be other areas of deadness where there would be no response to touch. We tried everything possible, from surgery to different drugs, to try and take care of some of the symptoms.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, non-drug, pain-free procedures that have helped thousands of neuropathy sufferers find relief.
Now I'm able to spend more time doing the things that I enjoy, being on my feet.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
When you own a business, it feels like everything's on you. Orders, deliveries, employees, on you. That's why Comcast Business is giving you a year of mobile on us with your internet service. Really? Yep. We'll cover your first line of mobile for 1 year. So calling customers, getting directions, texting Janine and shipping, on us. The broken coffee maker? That one's still on you, which means you'll save hundreds for your business and get the fastest mobile service with 5G cellular and Wi-Fi hotspots on us. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Get a mobile plan and free up the budget to maybe, I don't know, fix that coffee maker? Get mobile on us for 1 year, you guessed it, on us. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/22/25. Restrictions apply. New mobile customers only with internet standard service or above. Limited to value of one unlimited intro line apply via 12 monthly internet bill credits. One discount per account. Fastest mobile based on mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data in service areas. Ookla Speed Test Intelligence 2H24.
Every jersey tells a story.
So many people dressed in Seahawks blue.
From unforgettable touchdowns.
Touchdown! Seahawks! Jackson Smith-Njigba, Johnny on the spot.
To game-changing hits.
He gets hit again. Leonard Williams drags him down.
To memorable catches.
Jordan dropping back to pass in the end zone to Largent. Touchdown Seahawks!
History lives in every throw. Shop official Seahawks jerseys in-store at Lumen Field, The Landing in Renton, or online at Seahawks.com/ProShop.
For over 50 years, Buc-ee's has provided oil changes, brakes, factory service, and more with expertise and good old-fashioned customer service. No appointment needed, friendly financing available. Visit Buc-ee's.com.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once-yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
All right, welcome back. Spike, did you see this? There's a bunch of headlines I saw. This popped up yesterday. Legendary radio host Howard Stern, uncertain future at Sirius XM.
I woke up to this. This is on my phone the minute I woke up.
He's been there for 20 years.
On Sirius, yeah,
XM?
20 years ago.
He was kind of, I'm trying to remember back, was he their first big signing? I mean, they have tons of people now, and obviously
Howard was the biggest player in the game.
He was like the anchor that was going to be the,
he was the cornerstone of satellite radio.
Yeah.
Going from terrestrial radio as we've always known it and used it.
His contracts are legendary. I mean, the guy was getting $100 million a year, 5-year contracts.
Yeah.
So he's guaranteed $500 million. I mean, that's, and that out of that, I mean, he's got, I think that also goes into his staff, of which is substantial, but still.
And that only leaves him like $499.5 million when he's done.
Yeah. After Robin gets
How do you make it work?
I don't know. I don't know how you do that, but he's figured out how to, set up a cozy little life for himself.
He's cut corners where necessary.
In New York.
He cut his basic cable, ironically enough. Yeah.
But he gets free XM radio.
Have you ever seen his?
Nice.
Have you ever seen a photo? Have you ever seen a photo of his home?
Which one?
The one in the Hamptons.
No.
On the Atlantic Ocean.
No, is it
when I say Atlantic Ocean, because it literally spans the entire eastern seaboard of the Atlantic Ocean. It's like $75 million estate.
Yeah.
Facing the Atlantic Ocean.
What do you think? That's unbelievable. But I mean, it looks. I'm sure it's beautiful. I totally buy it. This guy's got more money than anybody.
He literally reinvented the genre, shall I say, of talk radio.
I used to listen
from an
to him
entertainment
a lot.
perspective.
I used to listen to him a lot.
He was the king.
He was super funny. Here's what I think. So a couple of things jumped out of this to me. This felt kind of in line with a Stephen Colbert type of a situation, where I think audience behavior has changed enough that they can't financially make that make sense anymore. I think his contract, here's what I think is happening. His contract is up at Sirius shortly.
Yeah.
This happens with everybody who's in the business that we're in.
Sure.
There's always
Yeah.
this backroom negotiating that happens. I think Sirius did this last time that he had a big negotiation. I think there was talk about this type of thing.
But last time he got it, though. He got the 5-year, $500 million last time he went.
He got another big contract.
Yeah.
I imagine he doesn't leave Sirius. My guess is he probably ends up staying there for another couple of years at less than he's making right now.
Oh.
He's got a big staff. So he would have to, say, I'm going away to all those people, or figure out how to transition over to some other way to pay them and keep the show up and running.
I think that's probably a more likely scenario, is that he just evolves into a different platform.
Maybe, but the guy's 71. I mean, he's got more money than you can ever hope to spend.
You think he can retire? Is he there in retirement? I don't know what his financial advisor is telling him. He may need to say, you need a couple more years, Howard. You're not there yet.
Yeah. If you really want to enjoy your sunset years,
right.
I think you just need to make $200 million more. I think
he might. That'll get us there.
Otherwise, it's going to feel like you're working a Monday for the rest of your life.
You're going to have half as many rhinos on your safari preserve as you want, unless you work those 2 extra years.
I don't think you need some money.
Money the rest of your life. That is maybe the greatest line of all time, by the way.
Yeah, it is. It's very effective.
Not a paid endorsement, but we do love the ads.
I don't think he needs the money. So it's just, it will be a matter of whether or not he decides he wants to step away. His audience, though, is much different than it was.
Oh, yeah.
So he used to have, I have the numbers on this, which are interesting. Stern's program has fluctuated. At one time, he had a daily audience of 20 million people.
That's insane.
Yeah. 20 million people. Daily right now, they say he averages about 125,000 listeners.
Wow.
That's a big drop-off.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a big drop-off. So to justify $100 million a year...
you can't. There's no way.
You can't do that. And so the number would have to change. Now, there's all these different avenues where I'm sure he could continue making money until he kicks the bucket. But
I don't know who does his hair, but he could endorse that product alone. I'd
absolutely
pay him a lot of money for that.
Soul Glow, whatever.
Oh.
But I think also one thing that I've noticed about his show, and I don't know if this has played into it, for me personally, I feel like he was really affected by, I feel like Stephen Colbert, I used to find Stephen Colbert funnier when he was a little more middle of the road. And when
Howard picked a camp.
Howard went a very specific way politically.
Yeah. You can say it.
It was around the time of COVID, so people were making interesting decisions around that time.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's ever, I guarantee you, he's never recovered that for me personally.
He's never returned to his prior points of view or persona. I think you're right.
The points of view wasn't even as much. It was, are you entertaining? Are you being... He used to do crazy stuff.
Oh, believe me, I know.
And so much of it is political now that I just feel like it feels like I've kind of heard it all before. And so
interesting.
And so I'm not as interested.
I think your Colbert analogy I think is spot on, because these guys lean into were political commentators through the lens of comedy.
Yeah.
As opposed to just being comedians.
Yeah.
And when the Colbert story broke, we talked about how the great ones, the Johnnies, even the Lenos, they knew better.
They knew where that line was.
Yeah.
They could push it on both sides.
People, you're an entertainer. When I want political commentary, I'll go to political commentary.
Yeah.
You're an entertainer first and foremost.
Yeah.
You're right.
But he's made a ton of money.
I wish him well.
He doesn't care.
Yeah. I wish him well, man.
He's doing fine.
Nothing worse than not having your sunset years be what you want them to be.
I know. Yeah, absolutely. All right. We got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We're going to read you a term. They're going to add a bunch of tiny houses in Seattle. And while reading the story, we discovered that they are referring to people in a way I've never heard before. And it is the friendliest interpretation of a horrible condition.
Okay.
And we'll read it to you. You're not going to be surprised. Stick around. We'll be right back.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Summer can be the best time of the year, but if it's not feeling good in your house, if it's turning into an oven, some of the problems might be because you don't have enough insulation in your crawl space or attic. In fact, many homes in our region have damaged insulation or even none at all. Yeah, it's Mike Salk here, and you got to get somebody to check on it. That's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and do a full corner-to-corner inspection of your crawl space and attic. And if it turns out that you've got a problem with your insulation, and maybe that's leading to bigger energy bills, guess what? Local utility companies have special incentives to help with the cost of getting your house properly insulated. In fact, if you're a PSC customer and your home was built before 1990, you could qualify to receive a rebate on up to 95% of the cost to get your attic properly insulated. Yep, 95%. Call Crawl Pros if you're worried about critters, mold, water damage, insulation issues, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic. Schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection at crawlpros.com.
It's a fact. When your eyes work correctly, light focuses through both your cornea and your lens to give you high-quality vision. Hi, it's Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision. Here's another fact. As we near age 50, we begin to lose the quality and function of our natural lens. That's when we start to reach for reading glasses and contemplate those cataracts on the horizon, typically in our 70s or later, but inevitable if we get old enough. Fortunately, K2 Vision has the advanced permanent solution for both, refractive lens exchange, or RLE. K2 Vision RLE is a quick, painless procedure that restores distance and near vision permanently. Plus, another thing is permanent. You will never develop a cataract. After over 20 years replacing over 100,000 failing lenses, we will help you determine when it's your right time for RLE. Go to k2visionrle.com and schedule a free Zoom consultation today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers. Permanently.
Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow by New Nordic. Available at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or in stores at your local CVS.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. 5 soldiers were injured today in a shooting at Fort Stewart in Georgia. The suspect who was apprehended, an Army sergeant. General John Lubis.
The shooting occurred at the soldier's place of work. It did involve his co-workers. We're still not certain about the motivations, but again, he's been interviewed by Army investigators, and we believe we'll gain more information here shortly.
The 5 injured soldiers are in stable condition. President Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff held talks in Moscow today with Russian President Putin. President Trump called the meeting highly productive. CBS's Nancy Cordes at the White House.
The reason that talks seem to be heating up right now is because President Trump had placed a deadline of Friday for Russia to either get on board with negotiations or face even more sanctions. And so now we're seeing that these conversations are happening. Whether or not they'll bear fruit remains to be seen.
In the meantime, the president has imposed more tariffs on India for supporting Russia's economy. CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
The president just signed an executive order saying that there will be an additional 25% tariff. So that would bring the total tariff rate up to 50% on India because they are buying Russian oil.
Border czar Tom Homan said today Indiana is getting its own version of Florida's alligator Alcatraz. The new immigrant detention facility will be called the Speedway Slammer, and it's located between Indianapolis and Fort Wayne.
I'd like to see bigger facilities that hold, 4,000 or 5,000 people. Just creates more efficiencies near an airstrip, move people in and out quicker, bigger population, but 1,000 beds help.
Homeland Security has removed age limits for new immigration enforcement hires. Applicants can now be as young as 18. They'll have to complete a physical fitness test. 10,000 new agents could be hired, paid for by the so-called Big Beautiful Bill. On the first day of school in Northern California, there are concerns over federal funding, as Matt Bigler reports.
Many students and teachers are excited to start the new school year in Mount Diablo Unified.
We just can't wait to welcome all of our students back.
But Superintendent Adam Clark says they have yet to receive several $1 million in federal funding that was supposed to be unfrozen by the Department of Education, and that may impact after-school and teacher training programs.
We're prepared to cut other programs if the funding doesn't come through.
The White House has said that $6.8 billion in education funding has been released, but some school districts are scrambling until the money arrives. Matt Bigler for CBS News, Concord, California.
On Wall Street today, stocks finished higher. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Health officials are investigating what could be the first known case of malaria acquired in Washington state. The story coming up, but first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. In Tukwila, a large tree is blocking 2 lanes on northbound I-405 near State Route 181. State Patrol is heading to the scene. In Tacoma, a crash is blocking 2 lanes on I-5 northbound near South 56th Street. You're backed up to Parkland right now. The crash has been cleared, though, from State Route 16 eastbound in Tacoma. Express lanes were open northbound all morning due to construction near the Ship Canal Bridge, putting pressure on your southbound commute. Travel times, Linwood to Seattle on I-5, just a couple of minutes longer than usual. Alderwood to South Center on I-405 is about 17 minutes longer. Traffic brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Save up to 25% on new air conditioning and heat pumps during the final days of the Home Comfort Alliance warehouse clearance sale.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Heather Bosch. The Pierce County Health Department is investigating what could be the first known case of malaria acquired right here in Washington state. KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon reports.
An East Pierce County woman who has not been traveling is getting treatment right now and being monitored. Malaria does not spread from one person to another.
Malaria is generally spread by mosquitoes. The health department says risk to the public is very low. The survivor of a random brutal stabbing at Point Defiance Park recounted that attack in a Pierce County courtroom where 29-year-old Nicholas Matthew is on trial for her attempted murder.
I started screaming for help, and then I realized people might not come if I wasn't clear, so I started screaming, "He's going to kill me. He's killing me."
Witnesses stopped him. Police tell KIRO 7 TV Matthew was arrested as he tried to flee the country. The trial continues today. A Linwood father is in custody after police say his 4-year-old son found his gun and the child accidentally shot his own mother in the arm. But KIRO News Radio's James Lynch reports that was just the start of the trouble for David Neff.
Prosecutors say Neff had 73 guns in his home, many of them unsecured. Snohomish County Prosecutor Christina Keplinger says investigators also found 8 homemade explosive devices.
Many of them were equipped with shrapnel, various metal pieces.
Charges include unlawful possession of a firearm, reckless endangerment, and possession of explosive devices. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle is facing a budget shortfall reaching more than $150 million.
City Council staffer Tom Mikasel spelled it out during a budget hearing.
In 27 and 28, the projected deficit is about $176 million.
Seattle's Office of Economic and Revenue Forecasts blames that projection on slower job growth, higher inflation expected from tariffs, and general economic uncertainty. However, it is better than April's projection of $250 million. Council gets to work on the budget in just 2 months. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
The Bonnie Lake Sumner team is a step closer to the Little League World Series after a win against Oregon yesterday. The call on ESPN.
Pretty good shot to the wall. Gone!
The team won it 20-6. They play in the regional championship Friday evening. The winner of that heads to Williamsport. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Soggy today with highs near 70. It's 65 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO Newsradio.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. Tons of stuff to get to. We didn't actually get to much in the first hour, Spike. I feel kind of ashamed.
There was some dominating stories we had to cover.
We had the refrigerator humper. We had the election results.
Yeah, you bet. And Stern stepping away.
Stern stuff. Great first hour. If you don't have the podcast, go download it. You won't be sorry. All right, Seattle Times has this story. This is not a surprise to me that they are continuing to do this. 2 tiny house villages coming to Seattle. 2 additional. There's a bunch of tiny house villages
There's
already.
literally almost like a dozen, I think, now.
But more of them are coming to Seattle.
2 new ones announced.
2 new ones. King County.
Yeah, one location set, one still up in the air.
Yeah. King County Regional, this is from Seattle Times. King County Regional Homeless Authority announced earlier this month that the Low Income Housing Institute was awarded a contract to stand up 2 shelters where guests have their own rooms and a door that closes. The contract, it's worth $6 million. Seattle Times wrote this. The first line of their article was interesting because they said, in a tight budget year. And we know that Seattle's, facing, just like the rest of the state seems to be, facing budget deficits.
Absolutely.
And so, do they have money for this? This is a question. But they're going to $6 million spread out over the 2025, 2026 years. And they're going to get one of these villages up and running quick, and then the other one to be TBD, to be determined. I don't know if you knew that's what that meant.
I did not. I always wondered.
TBD, to be determined. Here's what I found really interesting about this, and I don't understand why they always do this, and this doesn't make sense to me, and I would love your take on it, audience. 888-973-5476. The language that they use when they're trying to sell the public on more funding for tiny house villages.
Okay.
It's attempting to be the most flattering language. It almost highlights the thing that they're trying to have you not notice. And listen to this.
Okay.
Here's what they said. They're describing what will be available to people at one of these little tiny house units. The first one they said, which will be in the, let's see here. They found one site currently owned by a private landowner who's going to lease it at an affordable rate in Seattle's northern Olympic Hills neighborhood near Lake City.
Yeah, I know that.
The site will be fenced in.
Mm-hmm.
It will hold 44 tiny houses and available to adults, including couples. So if you're a couple and you want to live in one of these tiny houses, you can have that. People who are who have pets. And then this last line, which is the first time I've ever heard somebody describe this way. And people, because you and I were having this conversation earlier, in these little tiny house villages, are they going to have some sort of a line where you have to be sober, you have to not be using drugs, so that we feel good giving you tax dollars, and so these people are on the road to recovery, or are these just going to be no barrier entry?
They call them low barrier entries. Yeah.
So this is what the last line of this thing says. Available, again, to adults, including couples, people with pets, and people experiencing substance use disorder. What does that mean? I assume it means drug addict.
Substance use disorder. Yeah.
Substance use disorder.
Yeah, because anybody who's using drugs, that's just substance use. You do drugs. Substance use disorder means you have lost control over your ability to govern.
Have you ever heard a drug addict described as somebody who is
experiencing substance use disorder? Yeah, that's a little soft for my take. That's a little pandering, coddling, I guess is a better word.
Doesn't it just feel like, why not just say that these are people who are addicted to drugs? We know that's the reason many of them are in the situation that they're in.
You don't want to hurt their feelings. They're suffering enough already. I can't think of any other, I'm being facetious, but I can't think of any other explanation why you would use that term.
The only reason I think they would put something like that out there is because they're trying to soften and trying to shape the public's perception of what this is.
Oh, okay. So you don't want to say drug addicts.
So you don't want to say drug addict because somebody sees drug addict.
Couples, pet owners, and drug addicts are welcome.
Couples are nice. Everybody goes, oh, hey, you know what? A happy couple, somebody who's in a relationship together.
A lot of people on the streets find themselves living on the streets in couples. And a lot of people refuse to move out of encampments.
You can't get your person in there with you.
Or you can't get your pet in there with you.
Or you can't get your pet in there
Right?
with you. I don't know about that. I know that they have made that claim about
with
shelters.
People
emergency shelters.
Well, this is one step above emergency shelters. Talking about evacuations under emergencies like fires, whatnot. People wouldn't leave because they wouldn't leave their pet.
Yeah.
But there are people in the streets who have pets, and it's the only companionship they have, and they won't go to a shelter if they have to abandon their pet. It's well documented. I like both of those things.
Couples I like because it's, if you're in a stable relationship, maybe you're going to be more stable in your life, and maybe you're going to get on the straight and narrow faster, and then you're not living off the public's dime, and you can get your life on track, which is the goal.
You're shacking up, you need one shack. That just kind of makes sense.
You get
from
more
a
people
practical
into
standpoint.
a smaller area. Absolutely.
There you go.
People with pets.
So I
like pets. But
I like little tiny house villages. I like them.
You do?
I do because they're.
Do you like them across the street from you?
Yes, I don't mind them, to be honest with you.
Where
because
do you live?
I live up in North Seattle area.
Should they put one in across the street from you?
We've got several in our community.
When you say in our community, how close to you? You don't have to say where you live. But
I don't live in an industrial area. I don't live within a couple blocks of Aurora Avenue. Which I often find these places, and there are lower income housing. There are lower entry cost housing in those places.
Different. That's different. Lower income housing and tiny house villages are very different situations.
I'm not equating the two. What I'm saying is they put these tiny house villages into areas adjacent to low income housing.
Oh, I got you.
I live in a nicer neighborhood than that.
Yeah.
I live close to a school. Live close to a park. Live close to a playground.
But those are the kind of barriers. You wouldn't mind if they were right next door to you.
I would prefer that to an encampment.
And I'm not trying to catch you off guard here.
No.
Because I wouldn't either.
It's a fair question to ask, and it's really how committed am I to this? I got a pretty big backyard. I could fit a half dozen of them back there, maybe more.
Yeah,
I'm not willing to do that though.
Would you let people move into your backyard who are experiencing substance use disorder?
Thank you. You got me home. I would no. But
why do they include that? Why do they include that? Why can't they just say? Because here's the thing that I don't understand about this. You're going to ask taxpayers to spend $6 million on 44 of these houses, and I think the other one was going to get, I think total they were going to have somewhere around like 60 or something houses.
Okay. That's a lot of money for
Maybe it was 100. I don't know. It's not many. I think it ended up being like $60,000 per tiny home.
Sure.
Which again is like 4 tiny walls, and I don't know how they're spending $60,000 on these things.
It's not just for the little house. It's for all the peripheral services required to find people, get them there, maintain them there.
Knowing what we know now about how some of these charity organizations are run, $60,000 per house makes total sense to me because a lot of that is going in administrative costs.
When I saw the story, I was surprised that the Regional Homelessness Authority was still a thing.
Yeah,
I kind of thought it had run its course and we'd seen the wisdom of our era there.
Why do they allow people with drug addiction? That's what this is, drug addiction. People experiencing substance use disorder. I'm not trying to be cold, but there's a lot of people who are living on the streets who have mental disorders or whatever it might be, who are also not hampered by drug addiction, who could probably use the service and maybe have a faster recovery, which is the goal, right? The goal is not to live there permanently.
Well, maybe the thought is, first off, when they clear encampments from the city, which is the mayor's having a lot of success with clearing encampments. Tiny home villages are the most common way that people get convinced to leave encampments.
So we give you a little house.
Put you in a little tiny house.
Sure.
Okay. And these communities, little villages, they have case management. They have resources available. Maybe they think if somebody's suffering from drug addiction, if they get them into a clean, safe environment, and there's someone on site that does case management that can continually ask them, do you want help? Are you ready to get help? We have help available when you're ready. Maybe they find that as a bridge to getting people who are addicted into treatment.
I would be interested to see the numbers to see how many people who come in addicted leave not addicted.
I would too. I can only imagine that's the rationale behind not requiring somebody to be clean and sober to be in this village.
I volunteered, my wife and I, before we had kids and we had more time to volunteer. We still have time, but we're not as nice as we used to be. But we used to volunteer at a women's homeless shelter.
Okay.
And it was a no-barrier shelter.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the experience of going in there was pretty wild. I actually I didn't know that that's what it was when we first showed up.
That it was a no barrier.
I didn't realize that it was
drug addiction. I
didn't realize that it was a no barrier.
Okay.
I assumed that the people living there were already a little removed from the condition that found them in the position where they were living on the streets.
Right.
But they were not, and they stayed in there, and I was kind of shocked at the level at which they were still living like they were outside, but inside their rooms.
Inside a room, yeah.
Addicted to drugs, with a roof over their head. And I don't even know if that shelter's up and running anymore, but I couldn't believe that was something that was effective in getting people to move forward in life.
Into recovery and into their life.
And when you're talking about these people, like, again, couples, great, people with pets, I have no problem with pets, but calling it experiencing substance use disorder, just call it drug addicts. That's what it is.
Well, it's a more clinical, scientific, medical condition, is a disorder. Clearly someone with addiction has a disorder.
This to me feels like they're trying to
sell the community?
Trick the community into thinking that it's something that it's not. Because if you're asking the community to be cool with somebody living across the street from them, just like you've already expressed you wouldn't do.
I wouldn't want them, yeah.
You're asking somebody, especially low-income people, you're saying they build these right beside low-income housing. That doesn't seem fair.
No.
Why do they have to have drug addicts living next to them?
You know,
God knows what they're going to do.
I saw this story, and you pointed out that incredibly, carefully noodled definition.
That's mental gymnastics to get around that.
And I think to myself, well, clearly they can't be allowing drug use in these villages.
Sounds like they will.
Well, I mean, isn't drug use illegal? I mean, if you're telling me they're allowing...
they're experiencing a disorder. In fact, they'll probably get it from Seattle. Washington will probably provide it through that new program where they just give you your clean drugs. And they could just deliver it right to the doorstep.
Well, I guess,
like an Amazon Prime
like
for drugs.
Like a little grub hub for junkies.
Grub hub for drugs.
There you go. Yeah,
it's catchy.
Drug hub.
Drug hub.
Yeah, there you go.
Drug hub.
My thought was,
we laugh, but it's sad.
It is horribly sad.
Sad.
And we've had the conversation about enabling an addiction doesn't really get people. Why would you stop if you're being enabled? If you're allowing people to use drugs in these tiny villages, I thought it was illegal to use drugs. You tell me that people can commit crimes and that's okay.
Yeah,
because you're getting them toward recovery and off the streets.
Those are people who are experiencing crime disorder, experiencing crime committing use disorder.
I've got law abiding disorder here.
What a friendly term that is. You could take any horrible malady, any horrible thing that you've gotten yourself into, and you are then just experiencing something use.
We're not breaking ground here. People who have weird proclivities and criminal proclivities, and it's often disordered.
Oh, you're right.
You're
100%. There's some
pedophiles. Not to be. But they got a disorder.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah,
I got a solution.
Yeah, you don't want them across the street from you either.
And we talk about these little villages being placed in some of the more urban areas, some of the more commercial areas next to low-income housing, because I see them up as I drive up and down Aurora Avenue.
Yeah.
If people are still addicted to drugs, they're still experiencing disorders,
substance use
disorders.
Yeah.
And say you don't want them smoking your fentanyl inside the tiny village, right? But that means what? You kick them outside the fences for a few hours, and now they're doing public drug use around these communities?
Around these low-income communities
who
have no other option of where to be.
Right.
And their kids are going to be around there. Then their kids are going to see this on their front doorstep and think this is what life looks like. This doesn't seem fair for anybody. I'm not obviously you can get where I stand on this. I'm not a huge tiny village person. Here's an idea.
Yeah.
Here's an idea.
Okay.
What if you took, because these people are being invited in on the taxpayer dime.
Right.
We have a lot of land in this state.
We do.
We have a lot of land in this state.
We do.
Why can't you take these tiny house villages and put them out in the woods somewhere where you're going to get some good, clean, fresh air? People pay a lot. And I'm not even being facetious.
Okay.
This is a real suggestion. I just think they should. I give a lot of good ideas on this show, and I'm giving this one to Bob Ferguson because I think this is a great idea. You take a tiny village, you go into a tiny little mountain area somewhere.
Alpine Village. Tiny Alpine Village.
Tiny Alpine Village.
I like it.
People pay a lot of money to get up into the mountains.
They do.
You breathe that clean, fresh air.
Yeah.
It's a perspective change.
Yeah.
You're outside of the city.
Have them work on some trails while they're there.
You're far away from where you're getting your drugs.
But you're also far away from the services that these folks need.
What are you talking about? On site. You just read all the stuff they have on site.
They have these people on site.
Community advisor on site, liaison between the village and the surrounding community.
Yeah, but you have
restrooms, kitchen, common space, case management.
You have to refer these folks to seek medical assistance, to seek therapy assistance, seek recovery assistance.
Yeah,
unless you're going to build a hospital close by and a social works blah 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 next by.
Cart them in.
Get a bus. You got $60 million.
You get a tiny house village bus that goes to what are we calling it again? Tiny Alpine Village.
Village.
You get a bus that goes to Tiny Alpine Village.
I like it.
And suddenly this is now a desirable place. In 10 or 15 years, you're not going to be able to buy one of these places. It's going to be so valuable.
You're right.
People are going to want to get in there.
They're going to be franchised them out.
It's going to be franchised.
Yeah.
It's going to be the new way that people want to live.
You know, they've been talking about selling off public lands to help pay down the national debt, and even with the
they shut that down in our state. But
with the onus of expanding affordable housing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, what if we solve two problems with one little tiny alpine village here?
Do you think it's such a horrible idea to do a tiny alpine village?
No, I don't. I think there's genuine, good-hearted, benevolent intention in that, and because your points about. Nice. Your point about it being outside you're in a tiny village and you step out to Aurora Avenue where you got prostitution and drug dealing right outside your fence.
You have all of the things that are chasing these people that we know that they already have a weakness for.
Right.
Remove it.
Put them in an alpine village.
Put them in a tiny alpine village.
Next to a lake.
Next to a lake.
Big time.
You telling me that somebody who's drug addicted wakes up every morning. It's going to take a little bit. Obviously, there's going to be some detox time, all that stuff.
Sure.
They're going to wake up in the clean mountain air.
Birds are chirping.
They're going to breathe that in.
Yep.
They're going to see that crystal clear lake somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe from a distance. I'm not saying it's right on the water, but maybe it's got a view.
Yeah.
That's going to change somebody's perspective.
I think you're
change somebody's perspective a tiny bit, and suddenly life looks a little different.
All the difference.
You're mired in some disgusting downtown part of the city, near some overpass somewhere. You're hearing cars all the time. You're hearing violence and anger. You're seeing prostitutes and pimps.
Gunshots are fired.
Gunshots are being fired. Why do you think these people turn to drugs anyway? Because it's horrible. They want to make the pain go away.
That's exactly right.
Build a tiny house village.
Tiny alpine village.
This is a great idea. The land's going to be cheaper. Everything's going to work better.
Yeah, it is. You don't have to rent. Well, you rent the space for a couple acres in the mountains. Probably a lot cheaper than a couple acres up in Olympic Hills.
Heck
You have to get an agreeable with a landowner.
You could start doing hikes. You could start doing daily hikes. Get these people out there. Get them experiencing nature.
Couple canoes.
Yeah, you're right. Put on a barbecue every once in a while. Suddenly it doesn't sound so bad.
Camp smoke a lot less. I like it. Yeah.
The only thing they're burning is a campfire.
There you go.
Sharing
s'mores.
stories.
Making s'mores.
Making s'mores.
Right.
Man, we fixed a lot of problems on this show.
Laura, could you send this tape to the governor?
Of course.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. Tiny alpine village.
Our blessing.
Tiny alpine village.
Yeah.
My one rule: no people experiencing substance use disorder. But they will be lining up. They will be lining up to go to Tiny Alpine Village.
Let me ask you this though: if they come in with it, where are they going to get their gear?
Exactly.
Right. I mean, good luck out there. Shaving down pine cones.
I will back up. I will take it back. You can come in addicted.
There you go.
But you can't stay addicted.
Right.
And you can't do drugs there. What are you going to go get it from a squirrel?
Right.
Good luck. Not going to happen.
Well, squirrels are notorious for having a stash.
Of nuts.
Oh, she's not wrong.
Yeah, but if you're trying to get nuts, that's it. You're only going to get nuts. All right, we have a lot more coming up. Man, we're solving a lot of problems here. What's coming up next? Chris Sullivan.
Yeah, we got Sully.
People are doing a weird thing in Washington State on the roads here. Doubly bad what they're doing in the rest of the country. We're twice as bad as it here in Washington State as anywhere else in the country.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Makes no sense. Chris Sullivan's going to tell us about it next. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Ah, summer in the Puget Sound region. Hanging at the beach. A nice coffee on a long walk with the pooch. And so much time sitting in traffic every weekend, literally going nowhere.
We've all felt it. Big construction projects are underway across the region, and I can help you get around the big delays.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru. Get all of Sully's choke points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio app.
When the heat's an 11,
cool AC would be heaven.
dayandnight.net. Some AC you'll be loving
when your house is an oven.
dayandnight.net.
Northwest summers are beautiful, but there's always a long, hot stretch that makes everyone say, man, AC sure would be nice. Well, except for that one annoying friend who won't stop talking about how great his AC is. Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Don't sweat through another summer. Have Day and Night keep your house cool and comfortable by installing a high-efficiency AC or heat pump. Or if you have an existing system, we'll come and service it. Make sure it's running efficiently and ready to cool when you need it.
When the summer is cooking,
We're the place to be looking.
dayandnight.net. Stay cool this summer with Day and Night. Call now to get 10% off an air conditioner or heat pump. Plus, no payments or interest for a year OAC. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
dayandnight.net.
Contractors and heavy equipment operators, get ready. The James G. Murphy Auction Company presents one of the biggest heavy equipment auctions of the summer. On the auction block, we've got 13 excavators, including a 2018 Komatsu PC 238 USLC-11, a 2015 Komatsu PC 138, and a CAT 308 mini excavator. Also up for auction, a 2020 Komatsu WA 270-8 wheel loader, a 2017 John Deere 317G skid steer, 2 backhoes, and 3 rollers. Looking for trucks? Choose from over 100 options, including a 2017 Kenworth T880 with a wet kit and 4 Vector trucks. And if you're in need of contractor's equipment, we've got a massive assortment for you to choose from. Bidding starts 10 a.m. Thursday the 7th and starts closing at 10 a.m. August 14th. And don't miss your chance to preview all items August 12th through the 13th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our Marysville location. For more information, visit murphyauction.com. That's murphyauction.com.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Hey golf fans, Jordan Babineau here. Get ready for an unforgettable weekend at the 2025 Boeing Classic. Come see Masters champions and Hall of Fame golfers battle it out at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge, August 8th through the 10th. Bring the whole family and check out Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Plus, celebrate 20 years of the Boeing Classic, supporting the Benaroya Research Institute at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. It's more than just golf. It's an experience you won't want to miss. August 8th through the 10th. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit blowingclassic.com for more.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Next week at Dimitro's Jazz Alley, jazz royalty takes the stage. Dave Koz and Friends Summer Horns play 4 unforgettable shows, August 12th and 13th. Get your tickets now at jazzalley.com.
CBS News special report. 5 soldiers were shot and wounded today at Fort Stewart in Georgia. The alleged gunman, an Army sergeant.
We have identified the alleged shooter as Sergeant Cornelius Radford, an automated logistics sergeant assigned to 2nd Brigade Combat Team.
General John Lubis.
Soldiers in the area that witnessed the shooting immediately and without hesitation tackled the soldier, subdued him, that allowed law enforcement to then take him into custody.
He joined the Army in 2018 and has no deployments.
Sergeant Radford has been interviewed by the Army Criminal Investigation Division and is currently in pretrial confinement, awaiting a charging decision by the Office of the Special Trial Counsel.
Lubis says it's believed he used a personal handgun in the attack. The injured soldiers are in stable condition. The base, the largest Army installation east of the Mississippi. CBS News special report. I'm Cammie McCormick.
And I'm Aaron Granillo, turning to today's closing bell reports. President Trump puts an additional 25% tariff on imports from India. That brings the total levy to 50%. CBS's Michael Toscano says this is in response to India buying oil and military equipment from Russia.
The president is pressuring countries doing business with Russia as part of his efforts to get Russian President Putin to reach a peace deal with Ukraine. Trump set a deadline of this Friday for Putin to do that or face severe economic consequences.
Apple commits another $100 billion investment in the United States. CBS's Aaron Navarro has more from Washington, D.C.
They're going to expand their manufacturing in states like Michigan, Texas, and California. It also includes an increase of at least 20,000 people hired in the U.S., more manufacturing of Apple's AI.
Part of an effort there to avoid the threats of tariffs on iPhones. Microsoft may soon require employees to work in office 3 days a week. The Puget Sound Business Journal reports the announcement could come this September. Currently, most Microsoft workers are required to be in office 50% of the time. At the close today on Wall Street, stocks closed up. Dow gained 81, S&P ahead by 46. NASDAQ gained 253 points. Now to the real-time traffic desk. This report is brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Down in the South Center area, 405 northbound near I-5, a tree down is blocking 3 right lanes. Incident response team and State Patrol have arrived. Got you backed up all the way to SeaTac Airports on Highway 518 and some backups also on I-5 approaching 405. Down in the Black Diamond area, north and southbound traffic alternating on 169 at the Green River Bridge. This is due to an incident, according to WashDOTs. Couple travel times here for you. Linwood to Seattle taking you 42 minutes. Bellevue to Renton 30. Tacoma to Olympia 47. And the road work on the Ship Canal Bridge, of course, has you slow going northbound I-5 starting right around the Mercer Street exit. Also a little slow into downtown starting at the north end of Boeing Field. Beat inflation at Lake Washington Windows and Doors for a limited time. Save with 20% inflation discounts. 18-month free financing. Learn more at lakewashingtonwindows.com. Weather is brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Staying mostly cloudy today. Most of the rain right now along the Cascade foothills, most of it to the east and also South Pierce County right now. Staying cloudy today with highs in the upper 60s. Right now, 64 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. We are so lucky. Boy, we're lucky. We're living in a very fortunate time right now. We're very blessed. 2 days in a row, Chris Sully Sullivan joins us, and he's in the studio again. Chris, welcome to the show.
That's good to be here. I landed the plane, and I'm feeling good.
And you're feeling? We're all feeling good.
Can I take a moment to thank this man?
For what?
Oh, what did I do?
I called my wife and talked her out of taking a driverless car.
Oh, after our conversation yesterday.
Yesterday, yes.
Where was locally? Or no, she's on the road. That's right. You're home by yourself.
She's in Phoenix, where they're commonplace.
Yeah.
Because the road down there is a checkerboard.
Yeah.
Ain't no turns in Phoenix. They're all right angles. No curves. Anyway, I talked to her and expressed the concerns that you conveyed, and they're getting an Uber.
All right.
They're getting a car driven by a human being.
Who is fallible and can make all tons of mistakes.
Yeah.
Letting these two ladies in the car with him would be his first mistake. I pity the man. Anyway, but I digress.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Chris,
Glad to help.
Chris, you're in here because, speaking of accidents, people are driving the wrong way a lot in our state. What's going on?
Well, it's something that the state is trying to get a handle on, not only for the DOT, but the state patrol, law enforcement in general, because of our crashes on our roads, fatal crashes, and we have a lot of them. I mean, we've been setting records almost every year, almost until last year. They've been going. At one point, we were up over 800 fatal crashes on our roads in a year. Well, it turns out that about 8% of our crashes, yearly fatal crashes, are related to wrong way driving. That's double the national average.
We're number one, right?
Yeah, we're number one. Only we tie Maine that at 8% of our fatal crashes involve wrong way driving.
Do they have any idea what's causing that? I mean,
No,
that's a huge number.
See, that's the thing. It's hard to get a reason for each particular instance. Obviously, one of the most primary and easiest causes to figure out is impairment.
Sure.
I mean, we have an impairment issue around here. And again, that doesn't make us any more or less different than any of those other states. But for some reason, maybe it's because our roads are darker. We have longer patches where there aren't lights, and maybe it's easy to get confused and you can drive the wrong way without really noticing because there's nothing along the sides except trees. I don't know. Maybe it's confusing. I've been to a lot of intersections on freeways in parts of the state where I'm going, and I'm like, no, I can't go there.
There's a real lack of continuity in Washington, where sometimes the southbound entrance is on the right, sometimes the southbound entrance is on the left.
Yeah, then you have to do a circle.
There's no uniformity to it. So.
Yeah, there can be a lot of confusion. So yeah, and I talked to the state patrol yesterday about this, and they're like, yeah, confusion and impairment are usually the top two for that. So the state, the legislature asked the state, the DOT, to go, here's some money. Go figure out what you can do. Try some low-hanging fruit solutions. Get creative.
Put up a big sign that says wrong way.
Pretty much, and that's what they did. But I'll get to that in a minute because they've gone a little high-tech at 10 of the worst places around the state, and they use crash data for this. 4 of them are on Highway 18 here in King County.
Oh, okay.
For using data for where people get on the road the wrong way. 4 are down in Clark County, down in southern Washington. 2 are in Thurston along I-5. And so at these 10 spots, they put up a whole bunch of sensors and cameras so that if a car enters a ramp the wrong way, like all the bells and the whistles go off at the local DOT traffic management center. And then in real time, they start rolling people, they call law enforcement, and then they start using cameras to try to track that area to see if they can follow that car. And then they're also going to put up on the message boards, the message boards we see that say, 145th is closed.
Or silver alert. I see a lot of silver alerts.
They might say, watch out, wrong way driver heading your way. So 4 miles up the road, you might see a reader board that says, oh, hey, you might want to watch out. You might get headlights coming at you because that's freaky. I don't know if it's happened to you before, a wrong way driver, but your brain doesn't process it very fast or very well, especially at night. You're like, they can't be on my side of the road. What are they doing? Yeah. And so that's the high-techy part of this, is the new cameras and sensors. Now, they've also added 1,000 new wrong way signs, the big red wrong way signs, but they've added LED lighting around them. So they're going to flash at you if you get on a ramp the wrong way, not just the red sign, but the red sign will flash. And in 108 spots, I haven't gotten the breakdown on where these are, they put raised pavement markings with an arrow pointing the right direction of the ramp.
There you go.
And it also has lights in it. So it's like an airplane at night on the tarmac. You get on that ramp, you're going to have a red arrow pointing and flashing at you like, hey, the road's going this way.
Yeah.
Turn around. So those are some of the things they kind of came up with. Low tech, high tech, a lot of lighting, just something to maybe get people's attention before they make it down that ramp and they have a chance to do something different.
Can I say, though, if the suspected leading cause is probably impairment, none of these things are going to stop the or
most likely
the impaired driver.
Not, but maybe someone in their car might notice it or something.
A low-tech solution to this?
Sure.
Yeah.
You know those spikes that are in the ground that
a lot of
when
people
you drive
up
the wrong way, they flatten your tires?
Yeah.
I mean, you got a car with flat tires at the on-ramp.
Now,
that's a lot better than somebody coming the wrong way down a freeway.
That is true. However, the downside to that is people who are exiting the freeway the right way or maybe it too fast, you could damage their cars because those are usually done at super low speed. right? You know, when you go out of those parking lots at Hertz at the airport, you're going 2 miles an hour. If you're whipping off an off-ramp and and you got the light, you might hit it at the wrong space, you might pop a tire. There's some issues. But yeah, that was the number one thing people hit me up on the text line was, well, can't you throw out some spike strips? Can't you do something? There's got to be something different.
I can't steal a car at Hearst again.
Well,
but
exactly.
Can we have that kind of technology?
But I agree. That would be something that would make more sense because it would disable the car and not rely on the driver to see these.
I love the flashing signs are brilliant. The big arrows, lit arrows on the road are great. But if you're hammered and you pull,
probably not going to make a difference.
You're still putting people's lives at risk.
I still can't fathom, though, why we're double the national average. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't feel like Washington has a ton of drunks in it. I mean, we have our fair share of drunks, but no. More than Maine?
Well, if you
look at more drunks than Maine?
Well, Maine is Stephen King related. Those people are weird.
Those are all from Stephen. I thought you said they're all Stephen King.
No. Well, I mean, here let's look at the numbers a little bit more. In addition to the 57 fatal wrong way crashes we've had in the last 5 years, there have been 441, I think, crashes involving wrong way drivers, and more than 8,300 reports from other drivers of wrong way driving. And that's in the last 5 years.
Just think of how many people are driving wrong way, super late at night, and because there's not a lot of cars on the road, or maybe somebody doesn't report it right away, and thank God they don't hit anyone, but it must be happening way more than reported.
You think. Yeah, exactly. Wow. And so, 8,300 in the last 5 years just of notifications.
I'm really struggling to figure out.
And we are too, I think, because what makes us so much different than California or, Ohio or whatever. But it's just, again, it could be the fact that,
dark roads,
like you said. Less signage, confusion.
Weather may be a factor.
Weather. I mean, there are a lot of
dark
things.
Nights.
Yeah, if they could nail that down, I think we might be able to get a little bit more at the issue, other than maybe being a little tougher on drunk drivers. Considering, I mean, you look at the legislature, what it takes for it to become a felony now, unless you injure or kill somebody the first time.
That would be interesting. Is there a difference between the states that have lower rates and
more enforcement on that? Maybe potentially. I don't know.
I bet you it is.
So that's interesting. But one thing I do want to share this before our time's up is something a state trooper told me a long, long time ago, and I want to share with your listeners. It's something that I tell my family, and I have for years. If you're on a road at night, never be in the fast lane. Never, ever, ever, ever be in the fast lane. Because when a drunk gets on the wrong road, the wrong way, he thinks he's in the slow lane. He's coming right at you in the fast lane.
And there's no shoulder. And there's no room to your left.
So they're usually screaming up on the left-hand side of you when you're driving, because they think they're on the right side of the road, trying to stay sly. And that's something that I've told people for years now, since the trooper told me. He's like, never in the left lane, never, no God, and never in the HOV lane late at night when there's plenty of room.
Great advice.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah. Because they're trying to stay under the radar. They know they're buzzed. They're trying to go the speed limit, and they're in the right lane. Like no one's, I'm not passing anybody. But then that puts them right directly in your crosshairs.
Crazy.
So just something to think about, something to tell your family if you ever come across it. If you've got the opportunity, don't drive in that fast lane at night.
All right, Chris Sullivan. He's your conduit. He's happy to do it. That's really great advice. So we appreciate you coming in and keeping us safe on the roads. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Summer in the Puget Sound region. Hanging at the beach. A nice coffee on a long walk with the pooch. And so much time sitting in traffic every weekend, literally going nowhere.
We've all felt it. Big construction projects are underway across the region, and I can help you get around the big delays.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru. Get all of Sully's choke points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Hey, Spike O'Neill here. There's no better time to protect your home than right now, and with the help of the pros at Integrity Roofing and Construction. With years of experience in roofing and restoration, their skilled team delivers exceptional craftsmanship, whether it's a simple roof repair or a full renovation. Integrity offers free estimates, and their customer satisfaction speaks for itself. Don't wait until the next storm hits. Reschedule your free estimate today. Call 206-202-ROOF or visit integrityrc.com. That's 206-202-ROOF or integrityrc.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats. plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Closing Bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635, and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
I just saw 2 houses for sale. Same neighborhood, almost identical, but one had an Orchard sign and it sold for way more. So I asked my friends at Orchard, why? The first house used a traditional agent. After weeks of price drops and frustration, they settled for less than they'd hoped for. The second homeowner chose Orchard and got more. Their local Orchard agent didn't just list a home, they marketed it. They knew exactly which upgrades would attract serious buyers and brought in a pro to handle everything. And even more, with Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, the homeowner moved into their new home before their old one even hit the market. They skipped all the hassles and showings. Never settle for less. Get more with Orchard, the smarter, faster, hassle-free way to buy your new home, even before your old home sells. Start with Orchard's free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Viking, dedicated to creating travel experiences for the thinking person, with programs designed for cultural enrichment on board and on shore. Discover more at Viking.com.
Cars for Kids, the easy way to donate your car. Donate today and your car can be picked up tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.com or 1-877-CARS4KIDS.
At Clear Choice Dental Implant Centers, we get that your teeth, your budget, and your story are all unique to you, which is why our experts who specialize in dental implants will build a custom solution around each patient's needs. With personalized treatment plans and third-party financing options, we'll help you get your new teeth on your terms. Visit clearchoice.com or call 888-SMILE-05 to schedule your free consultation today and let us help Seattle start smiling again.
Office is owned by Dr. Alfonso Pinheiro.
All right, welcome back. I saw this item online. I said, it's either genius or it's madness. I don't know.
Interesting.
It's a new ice cream flavor. You guys may have already seen this online somewhere. You may have already seen it, but I thought I'd ask if Spike would try this.
You got any on you?
I don't have any on me.
Oh,
no,
okay.
and unfortunately, I can't make any. But
don't before you tell me what it is.
Yeah.
Can we find it? Can you get it and maybe see if I can identify the flavor?
We can order it. No, well, I think we should just order. We'll order some, and we'll both maybe we can all three try it. That'd be fun.
What do you got?
But there's a company called Frida, who's a Oddfellows ice cream, limited edition Frida ice cream.
Okay.
And they're making a breast milk flavored ice cream.
Oh, my headphones kicked out. I missed that. I thought you said breast milk. That's so weird.
No, I did. Breast milk. Breast milk flavored ice cream. I guess mint chocolate chip isn't exciting enough for some people. So breast milk flavored ice cream. Would you try a breast milk flavored ice cream, Spike? They do say, I want you to know.
Not again.
They have, not again. They said it's just like Mom used to make. Isn't that funny? That's a great ad. That's a really funny ad. They said that it's not made with actual breast milk.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, they say it's made to mimic the taste of. So here's how they describe it. They say sweet. It's a little salty. It's smooth with hints of honey and sprinkles of colostrum, topped off with a yellow tint to match the theme. We think our recipe tastes pretty close to the real deal. Frida's website says.
Babies agree.
Babies all across the country agree. Weird people agree.
Fetish folks agree.
Would you guys try breast milk flavored ice cream? Laura, what do you think? No, I'm not allowed to ask you. Spike, would you taste a breast milk flavored ice cream?
No, I don't think I could.
Laura, would you try it? I will ask you.
I have a weird take on this.
Please.
I would rather it be real breast milk ice cream. Because if I'm going to put up with like whatever that flavor is, I might as well get the immune boost, right? I want the antibodies. I want the health benefits. I want the protein content.
Breast milk is healthy. We've had 4 kids, my wife and I, and every one of them is breastfed, and those are plump little babies.
American-born breastfed.
You got some healthy boys.
Those babies tell you what, my kids would chow down on this stuff. I would try this. I would have no problem trying this, as long as I knew it wasn't coming from actual...
from moms.
From actual breasts.
Interesting. I mean, you can sell plasma.
Have you ever tried breast milk? I mean, not as a baby, but like as an adult?
Not on purpose.
Really?
And I would just like to say, moving forward,
sure.
If you're going to put breast milk in the station fridge, could you please identify what it is?
Somebody put breast milk in the station?
Yeah.
Not this station?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And you'd think that a clear label would be a good idea, but just a mason jar.
Just a plain old
mason jar with no labeling whatsoever.
With a plain old mason jar lid?
And I'm thinking, okay,
good storage.
Look at that. We ran out of creamer in the fridge. Oh, look. Somebody brought some from home, I thought.
Did you try it?
Not on purpose.
But you did try it?
In my coffee.
How was it?
I thought it had spoiled.
It's a little sour.
It was. How did they describe it?
Jeez.
Sweet, salty, with a hint of what?
Colostrum.
Yeah, maybe that's what I didn't agree with. I don't know. It was embarrassing.
Sweet and salty with a hint of colostrum.
I was a little ashamed of myself, and I haven't helped myself to anybody else's food since.
That's smart.
Lesson learned.
That's smart. How did that go? How did you discover what it was? Serious question. Like, I
asked a coworker if they knew who that was, and they told me what it was. I didn't tell them that I had tried it or that it had. I asked somebody if they knew what that was. No.
Do they still work here? Oh, no,
I refuse to answer that question because I'd like to leave it as vague as possible.
What?
Yeah, it was very embarrassing. I felt more ashamed that I'd helped myself to somebody else's stuff.
Sure.
I really did. I felt
it's not like you're nipping a Diet Coke out of somebody's 12-pack or something, which you can go and replace pretty quickly.
Exactly.
But in a pinch, you might say, hey, I need this real fast.
Yeah.
But breast milk.
I crossed a Rubicon there that I will never go back and do again. I learned a valuable lesson.
And you didn't enjoy the taste?
No, it was very unpleasant for me.
Yeah. Well, if you're expecting heavy cream,
the taste of shame, I said. That's what shame tastes like.
I've tried breast milk because we have all these.
You got the boys.
We got the boys, and we got stuff around. And I was curious. I was like, what does it taste like? They love it. They can't
seem to get enough.
I didn't taste it
you
from the
trust
original.
Their judgment, right?
From the original location. I tasted a bottle.
That
would have been strange. But I tasted a little bit of a bottle, and a little tiny sip.
Yeah.
And
what do you think?
It's all right.
Okay.
I get it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is in the delivery for the kids. It's my guess. It's fine.
I can see the wisdom in that.
It's totally fine. And I would try a breast milk ice cream. But if it's
You
fake,
can have mine.
Yeah, I'll have yours.
You can have mine. Help yourself.
It's too bad. I'm lactose intolerant. Do they make a lactose intolerant free? Like a lactose-free breast milk ice cream? That seems a little specific.
I can't believe it's not breast milk.
That's what ridiculous. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
Oh, my.
You won't believe how many cats they just found.
We got a weirder story than the last one?
And then that's going to lead into an even weirder cat story that Spike's going to tell us about.
Okay. I share some with you in confidence, and you're going to just...
You can milk anything, isn't it? All right, we'll be right back.
Seattle home prices, well, they just keep going up, and you might be ready to take advantage. If you're getting ready to sell or just moved into a new home, now is the time to get a thorough inspection of your crawl space and attic. And don't do it yourself. You don't want to be crawling around in there. You probably don't even really know what to look for. It's Mike Salk here, and Crawl Pros will go where you don't want to, so you can know if there's anything going on in your crawl space or attic without having to crawl into and evaluate those spaces on your own. A free inspection will let you know if your home is energy efficient and if the air you're breathing is clean and safe. Plus, there are some really great utility rebates available right now to help you with the cost of the new installation if it's needed. How nice would it be to get someone else to cover that cost? Had them out to my house, and it was a great idea. Did that free corner-to-corner inspection, found some issues, they took the pictures, showed them to me, and then solved the problem. No issues since. If you're worried about critters, mold, water damage, insulation issues, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic, call Crawl Pros or visit crawlpros.com.
This is actress Holly Robinson Peete for Eggland's Best. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, make sure you're choosing wholesome ingredients like Eggland's Best Eggs to plus up your nutrition. With more than 6 times the vitamin D and double the omega-3s and vitamin B12 compared to ordinary eggs, Eggland's Best supports a healthy lifestyle. Available in so many delicious varieties, classic, cage-free, and organic. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs. Visit egglandsbest.com to learn more.
Americans may not agree on much, but we agree on Social Security. We all pay in. It ought to be there when we need it. Social Security could face a funding gap in less than a decade, and I don't want to see a pay cut. I'm with AARP in the fight to protect the Social Security we earned.
Pledge to protect Social Security at aarp.org/weearnedit. That's aarp.org/weearnedit. Paid for by AARP.
Are you trying to buy a new home, or are you a local real estate agent seeking financing for a client? We're all tired of dealing with banks, credit unions, and endless guidelines. Wouldn't it be nice to go back in time when we had common sense lending? Hi, I'm Scott Rureka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We are one of the largest local private portfolio lenders in Washington. We've helped thousands of home buyers and real estate investors reach their financial goals by leveraging the Legacy Common Sense borrowing platform. What that means is we lend our own money, we make our own decisions. If your deal makes sense, we'll get it done. Whether you're purchasing a new piece of real estate or refinancing an existing loan, bridge loans, construction, or regular home loan, it doesn't have to be as difficult as banks and lenders make it. If you're trying to grow wealth through real estate acquisition, come talk to the experts in private lending.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, your common sense lender. LegacyG.com.
Spike O'Neill here. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens gave me back the perfect vision I had up until a few years ago. Now, never need glasses again. Never develop cataracts. Been about 6 months since my RLE surgery. My vision is better than it's ever been in my life. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens, privately owned, no corporate shareholders or boardrooms. Dr. Sharp built his business on the principle of always strive to overaccomplish, never overprice. Call 425-451-2020 or go online to sharp-vision.com. That's sharp-vision.com. Official eye care providers of Sounders FC.
She and Ursula, weekdays from 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio. Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. There was a shooting today at an Army installation in Georgia.
This morning, shortly before 11 o'clock, an active duty soldier assigned to Fort Stewart, Georgia, shot and wounded 5 of his fellow soldiers here on Fort Stewart. Thankfully, all are in stable condition and all are expected to recover.
General John Lubis says the alleged gunman is a logistics sergeant who used his own personal handgun in the attack. The base was under lockdown afterwards. CBS's Anna Schechter on what comes next.
He is being held in a pre-trial confinement office, and there's a military judicial system that he is now a part of. So this is separate from, like a county prosecutor. This is all going to be contained on the base.
Sergeant Cornelius Radford joined the Army in 2018. President Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff held talks in Moscow today with Russia's president. Talks Trump called very productive. CBS's Nancy Cortez reports Trump later spoke to allies about the meetings.
And President Trump said he has been talking with European allies, speaking with Volodymyr Zelensky for a second straight day as he tries to broker some kind of ceasefire at the very least.
Trump also today imposed higher tariffs on India for buying Russian oil. CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
This is the very first time that we would ever see tariffs used in this way, in such a blanket way to apply such economic pressure.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is said to be considering widening the war in Gaza and occupying the territory. Greg Carlstrom of The Economist.
But most Israelis are opposed to it. The army brass opposed to it, not only because of the risk to the hostages, but also because of the strain it would put on the army, which is already having a crisis of morale, which is having trouble with soldiers not reporting for reserve duty. The last thing that the army chief wants to do is a very large and ambitious occupation of Gaza that would require mobilizing an even larger number of reservists.
Vice President Vance is expected to host a strategy meeting with top administration officials on how to release the transcript from a Department of Justice meeting with Jeffrey Epstein's imprisoned former girlfriend. CBS's Katrina Kaufman has that.
They're going to be meeting tonight to discuss what they want to release and how. Will this be a news conference? Will it be an interview? What will the public get to see from this? There is obviously so much curiosity.
Ghislaine Maxwell answered questions from Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. Sources say she said nothing that would be harmful to President Trump. On Wall Street, stocks finished higher. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
Coming up, a new case of malaria in Pierce County could be a first for Washington. I'll explain, but first to the real-time traffic deaths. This report brought to you by Washington 811. We have cleared a downed tree on northbound 405 in Tukwila. This was just south of SR 181. Traffic starting to move in that area now. All lanes also now open near Sammamish on SR 202. That's where we had a disabled vehicle just east of 236 Avenue Northeast. And also near Black Diamond, traffic alternating on the 169 Green River Bridge. This is because crews need to repair the road out there. Rest of the map right now, pretty much average. Of course, we have that Revive I-5 work on the Ship Canal Bridge, slowing you down, approaching the 520 bridge. It does clear up nicely once you reach the U District. Pretty heavy right now getting into downtown Seattle from Linwood. Right now, that's about a 35-minute drive from Linwood to Seattle. Let's go to Olympia, looking at about a 40-minute drive. Lake Bridge is right now in good shape. If you are digging in your yard, the law requires you to call 811 to avoid dangerous and costly damages to utility lines. Call 811 or submit online at digsafewa.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The Tacoma Pierce County Health Department is investigating what could be the state's first locally acquired case of malaria. A woman in East Pierce County who has not traveled recently was diagnosed over the weekend and is now receiving treatments. Officials believe a mosquito may have transmitted the disease from another person who recently traveled. The first batch of primary election results are in. They show some very tight races in Seattle, including in the contest for mayor. It is a virtual tie between Katie Wilson and the incumbent Bruce Harrell.
No one running for this position remotely has the experience, the executive experience, the academic experience, the professional experience.
Over the last 20-some years, I have watched this city become less and less affordable, less and less livable.
They will face off on the November ballot. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey looking at some key races now in Snohomish County.
In the race for Everett Mayor, things are tight. Incumbent Cassie Franklin will face Scott Murphy in November, and she's currently
currently trailing by just 170 or so votes. In Edmonds, Erica Barnett and Alex Newman are moving on to the race for City Council. And for Snohomish County Council, Nate Nehring and Jared Mead will advance unopposed. And in the only contested seat, Kelly Johnson is set to face Sam Lowe this fall. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
In the race for King County Executive, 2 current council members, Claudia Balducci and Gurmai Zahalai, are set to face off in November. You can see a full list of results on mynorthwest.com. Pierce County Animal Control has seized dozens of cats from a trailer in Graham. Here's KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay.
The sheriff's office has released body cam footage recorded at the scene that day.
It's a lot of cats. Yeah, I think we're at the 70.
Actually, the final number was 80. The 30-foot camper was packed with Maine Coon and domestic medium-hair cats, some of them just days old. Many were sick or had fleas. There were 6 nursing mothers among them, and more of those cats are likely pregnant. They're being treated and will be up for adoption at the Tacoma Humane Society. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Starting to see some of the clouds break up, especially over Elliott Bay right now. Some increasing clearing throughout this afternoon, but still see some lingering showers, mainly to the east and south. Right now, partly cloudy and 68 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. Where does the time go? How do we go through 2 hours already? This doesn't make any sense.
I blink and it's over.
Blink.
Unbelievable.
Listen, it's like you start the show, and before you know it, you've talked about somebody trying to hump a refrigerator and getting arrested at Trader Joe's. You talk about other people who accidentally are drinking breast milk at work. Crazy stuff happening. A lot of stuff to get to still.
Oh, yeah, the primary elections, too. We squeezed that in.
That's not
squeeze that in.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Just a ton of stuff. Yep. And that's not even the craziest story of the day, the stuff that I just told you about.
No, there's more.
Listen to this cat story. This is interesting. This was in Pierce County. I don't even know how this is possible. Pierce County Sheriff's Office, I think, had to respond to this. Animal Control had to get involved. There was 80 cats and kittens. I assume that 80 number includes cats and kittens.
Yes.
80 cats and kittens in a 30-foot-long trailer in Graham. 30-foot-long trailer is not that long. That's not that big of a trailer. That's not for 80 cats. Laura, you're a cat. You have a cat. You're not a cat, but you have a cat. What's the maximum number of cats that you could fit into a 30-foot trailer and still live a life that's worth living?
1.
1 cat. Okay.
No, 2. It's leave me alone. Come on.
Well, no, the cat's with the owner. These aren't. This
Oh,
isn't like a trailer
there was
for
a purse living in there too. Was
homeless
there?
cats. No,
it's just the cats. Person
Oh,
had
in that case too. Yeah, I'll
person
get
had the
somebody.
decency to live in a house, take care of themselves.
But they would have to be a
cat
bonded
hut?
pair. They'd have to like each other.
Yeah.
I'm not just throwing 2 random cats. In
Yeah,
there
it's a
together.
cat hut. Yeah.
Like a rookie. You have to make sure they like each other.
Right? To make sure they like each other. But then you're going to end up with more cats if they like each other too
That
much.
I was going to say. That's how you get to 80 cats. You start with a
80
couple cats who really like each other, and then
Let's see here. Officials reported that many of the cats, particularly the kittens, this is sad, were suffering from flea infestations, upper respiratory infections.
Sure.
So all these cats were taken away, and they're getting the medical care that they need. They are going to the Tacoma Humane Society. They're going to be up for adoption. So if you're in the market for a used cat, you can get one at the Tacoma Humane Society. They're very sweet looking. I saw the pictures. Yeah, we have them up right now. Good golly, that's a cute cat. That's an older cat. I probably wouldn't get an older cat. The cute kittens, I would be.
They're adorable. Look at these. Even the older ones. I mean, these stories always just to my core. How do people do this?
Do you think it's animal cruelty that they had 80 cats in there?
I think
or do they just love them too much? Like we had the lady with the dogs. I don't think she was an animal cruelty person, but how many dogs does she have?
I don't remember.
Weren't there like 20 or something?
Yeah.
Do you remember the story? All those little expensive.
Oh yeah, it was like a breeding situation that just she
got out of hand.
They went to her house because her neighbors reported barking, and she literally was like, "Please help me,
Help me! I've gone out of control." You think this started innocent enough and lovingly enough?
Are people breeding cats like this? Are they breeding these types of cats?
No, I don't care. I mean, we look at the condition of some of these poor animals. I don't care if it was love involved. There's an illness here in a person that can do this to pets, to animals, not just pets, animals in general.
Do you think this is a person who wishes they were a cat? I mean, you got 80 cats. You obviously love cats.
There's a detachment with normalcy, if not reality. I think when you got 80 cats in a truck outside your house.
Yeah, there's
a 30-foot trailer.
Yeah, that's crazy. And good for them for somebody for calling in on that and figuring out how to get these cats to safety.
Some help.
Yeah, get them the help they need.
Is there a link in the story how people can help? Because I know right now that the
Tacoma Humane Society.
They're going to be beleaguered with need.
Yeah, if
at a
you
moment
need a
like
cat.
this. Yeah, or no, if we donate often to shelters. We just cash donations or extra food, toys, bedding, whatever it might be. We have for dogs, and it's funny. I'm not going to name them, but there's a service, an online pet supply service. And when you buy something and you want to return it, they completely refund your money and ask you to donate it to a local shelter.
Oh, that's nice. It's Chewy?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's Chewy.
Yeah. That's amazing.
It's pretty cool.
And I think the Tacoma Humane Society could probably use a little help right here, too.
Sweet little cats.
Oh, man.
Spike, you had a cat story. Is that right? Something happened? Are you a cat person? Do you have a lot of cats? Do you have 80 cats?
My wife's horrifically allergic to cats.
Oh, okay.
My sister, on the other hand, is a bit of a cat lady. 8 cats, 9 if you count. 8, 9 if you count the feral. I just checked her this morning to get an accurate number because it changes so frequently. My sister lives on the other side of the country by request, and eight indoor cats and 1 feral cat that they're feeding on their porch, which they really can't count but they do feed this cat.
I would count it if it lives on their property.
But then she's got 9 cats, 9 cats, and swears.
Does she have 1 husband?
1 husband, yeah.
Still married?
Still married.
Happily?
As far as I know,
for the time being.
And his wife has 9 cats, and he's a cat lover too. Cats are great. I love cats, but 9's a little.
Is he a cat lover? Or does happy wife, happy life?
We all know.
Does she
that's
love
the fact.
cats?
Clearly,
yeah, she does.
She doesn't think she's a cat though. To your question earlier.
Well, that's good.
My cat story is about the musical cats.
Oh, the musical cats. Do we have some music for
I don't know how this story came up, and I said, have you seen Cats the musical?
I have not. Oh, here we go.
Oh my gosh! What a musical, by the way.
I have not seen Cats the musical.
Interesting.
I'm not a big musical guy, if I'm being completely honest.
I was raised on musicals. Love musicals. We have the benefit, wonderful opportunity through this job. At least a lot of us here are on the press list when performances come through Seattle, whether it be the Paramount, Fifth Avenue, whatever it might be, Seattle Theater Group. I got to see Cats when my youngest, who's a theater nut, my kid goes to arts college for performing arts. And we got to sit in the front row for a performance of Cats at the Paramount Theater.
Nobody's allergic in your family?
Well,
your wife is.
These are
She
actors.
didn't go?
These are actors.
Oh, they're actors. These aren't real cats.
No, they're not real cats.
How do they make the cats sing?
It's magic. Well, no, I was telling you off air that we sat in the front row for this performance of Cats, and during the intermission, the actors who are in bodysuits with great makeup and all the.
It's a very 80s looking cat, though,
right? It is very much.
It's like
all of
leotard.
it. There's yes, exactly. There are dozens and dozens of different personality cat actors. This cat came and crawled out, amongst the audience.
Fours.
Yeah, and acting like a cat and curled up in my kid's lap.
Ew.
It was beautiful. It was amazing.
This is a grown person?
Grown person.
Dressed as a
cat.
As a cat?
As a cat.
Curled up in your child's lap.
My child's lap. My child was about 9, 7. I was 7 at the time, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in that window.
Am I wrong to think that that's so inappropriate?
It was
Laura,
a woman.
that's inappropriate, right? That's inappropriate. Look at Laura's face. That's inappropriate.
So? The cat came out and acted like a cat, acted like a real cat.
I don't know what I would do in that scenario.
Tell you what,
You're putting me in an uncomfortable position.
Yeah.
I loved it. We thought it was awesome. My kid loved it.
Let me ask you a question about this quote cat. A grown man?
Woman.
A grown woman.
Yeah, apparently the actor had enough common sense to know that,
I don't think they have much common sense. Crawling on a child.
Oh, well, it was wonderful. It was lovely. People were taking pictures.
It's not a real cat, right?
Yeah, I got that.
Let me ask you this question.
Sure, Ben.
Did this actor cat purr?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's inappropriate. Spike.
Honestly, I'm such a big fan of Cats. I've never seen the musical because
because you love cats so much.
People pretending to be cats weirds me out so
You're such
much.
a big fan of real cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How can a fan of the feline species not have seen it and loved the movie or the musical Cats? Not the movie, boy.
Have you seen the movie?
I tried.
I didn't. Have you seen the movie?
No.
Okay, so this was a couple years ago, and this was like the big thing that everybody was like talking about a few years ago. But when they made the Hollywood version of the stage musical Cats, but when they made it into a movie, and instead they made them all like they weren't wearing the outfits; they just CGI'd them as cats.
Yes.
But like a humanoid type of a cat. So they look like humans. They had like very human features and shapes, and like all the cats had big breasts, and they had and they looked like, it was very creepy. It looked like kind of a weird.
It was unwatchable. I hate to say. I mean, I tried. I couldn't do it.
I tried too, only for the spectacle of it, because everybody was saying, you won't believe how crazy this is.
Yeah.
And it really was that crazy. And I remember watching it, like Taylor Swift's in it. Who else is in it? James Gordon,
Judi Dench,
Idris
Elba, Jennifer Hudson. I mean, they had everybody who was Ian McClellan, Rebel Wilson.
I forgot they were all
everybody
in it.
who was anybody wanted to be in this movie, because one of the biggest, I think it's the most successful, longest running Broadway or theatrical production in history.
But it ended up being a massive bomb,
an abomination,
like bomb, horrible. Can't say bomb on an airplane. Bomb.
I regretted that I had even one life, let alone 9, trying to watch this movie. It was awful.
I feel bad for everybody involved in that movie. That seemed like, I do feel like they went into it with the best of intentions, and they probably thought this is going to be a smash hit. They wouldn't have gotten so many giant names if they didn't think it was going to be such a great.
Wasn't it a cash grab though? I mean, come on.
Yes, I don't know. I mean, like it's been a stage show for what, 50 years or 60 years, however long it's been.
I think he wrote it in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken.
40 years.
Yeah, it's 40. I mean, the longest run on stage of any production.
It's had many lives. That joke. I do, just if I can circle back for 1 second, because I didn't want to say, I don't think you as a parent did anything wrong in the actor curling up on your child's lap.
Thank you.
No, you didn't do anything wrong. I do think if I would question that actor's decision making.
To curl up in the lap of a child in the audience?
There's other adults there who might be a little more comfortable with that, and who would say, hey, pop up here, kitty, hop in my lap. I'll give you a pet.
I think it'd be more appropriate to hop into a lap of some guy asking for it. I think that, to me, that seems a little creepier than a cat innocently crawling up in the lap of a child.
Probably they just shouldn't crawl on the audience at all, would be my recommendation. And again, I'm not like a theater person. Maybe that's part of the theater community.
No, maybe it's like scare actor rules, like when you're in a haunted house and they're not allowed to touch you.
In
this case, so they're literally climbing on you, purring on you.
Cat was purring.
I would be scared.
Darby petted it. Oh, it was awesome.
Oh.
That weirds me out.
I'm glad that you remember. I'm glad you remember it fondly. All memories turn to gold eventually. So except the horrible
I
ones.
almost wish I'd. I was looking at the cast of the movie Cats.
Yeah.
And it is. I mean, it's incredible the number of people. Wallace Shawn, the guy from Princess Bride, inconceivable.
Yeah.
He was in Cats the movie. Neil Patrick Harris.
Who's Patrick Harris again?
Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh, Neil Patrick Harris. Doogie Howser.
Yeah, you bet. Barney from How I Met Your Mother. Nick Nolte was in the movie, but ironically enough, he was just passed out drunk in the garbage can scenes. No one realized he wasn't a cat. He was just passed out drunk.
Just a guy?
Just a guy.
He didn't even know they were filming that day.
No, he was
just happened to
giving
be there.
credit there. Yeah. It's incredible. They had to give him credit. His agent got him credit in the movie. Incredible. Bette Midler was there.
That's really funny.
Bette Midler was there fighting for a saucer of milk. That's wonderful.
That's nice. I highly recommend you at least watch the trailer for that movie. It's kind of something it's something that has disappeared into obscurity because they've tried to make it disappear into obscurity. It is wild to go and watch it. It's so truly bizarre and uncomfortable. And if you are a person who loves cats, you will hate this movie. That's a guarantee.
You should see the musical. You should try to see the musical. There's a full movie version of the theatrical production.
Is it like The Music Man? Like I saw The Music Man as a movie when I was a kid. Is it like The Music Man? With Shirley MacLaine.
Yes.
And Little Ronnie Howard.
You bet. The Wells Fargo wagon is
coming around the street.
You betcha.
Oh, please let it be for. That's more like Wallace Shawn. That's actually Wallace Shawn played that role.
Inconceivable.
Oh, the Wells Fargo. No, that's not it.
We're really dating ourselves here. You said you weren't a musical guy.
You've seen Music Man.
I've seen every musical. That is like the one movie category that I.
My family.
Cats.
Except Cats. I know. How is that possible?
We were very sheltered as kids. We weren't allowed to watch a lot of stuff.
Okay.
So we did have a few movies that I guess are technically musicals. So here's the musicals I've seen. And I think they're probably the top ones. Probably the top ones, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Music Man, I've seen.
Sure.
King and I.
Robert Preston, am I getting that name right? The lead actor, I believe it's Robert Preston.
Could be. King and I with Yul Brynner.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, so good.
Brilliant.
That's
Oh my God,
a great.
I cry every time I watch that
It's
movie.
a beautiful film.
Brilliant.
Really great movie. Also, that guy's just a manly man.
Yul Brynner?
Yeah.
He was buffed out for that role,
Yeah,
too.
it's like and he's
Oiled up,
Oiled
too.
up, bare-chested.
Just a powerful bald man.
Yeah, you bet.
Just a powerful bald man.
Yeah.
I think
Unlike James Corden, who was
unlike James Corden, who's
just a
soft man.
His career-ending performance in Cats. What can you say?
What's the other one I've seen? I've seen one more. Sound of Music.
Sound of Music? Oh, I just watched that a couple weeks ago.
Also great.
Wept like a baby.
Were these all stage plays?
Oh, of course.
Was Sound of Music a stage
Absolutely,
play
you
before
bet.
it was a
Julie
movie?
Andrews. Julie Andrews was actually, yes, she performed it on stage.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I like those musicals. Those are nice.
I've seen Carousel. I've seen, you name it, State Fair, all of them. Oklahoma.
Julie, I'm aware
by the
of
way,
Oklahoma.
I hate to admit this.
You've already admitted to petting adults dressed as cats and
Petting
drinking
adults and
breast
drinking
milk at work.
Shirley Jones, Mrs. Partridge,
Yeah, heck yeah.
of all the Rodgers and Hammerstein musicals, of Carousel.
I said Shirley MacLaine. I met Shirley
You met
Jones.
Shirley Jones.
Shirley
I knew
Jones
you did. I got to meet her.
You
Got
really?
her. I have her autograph at home.
How old was she at the time?
She was. Oh my God! She was promoting Grandma's Boy. Have you ever seen Grandma's Boy? It's everybody that's all the peripheral
It's
actors.
like a side guy in Adam Sandler's universe.
Yes, every side guy in Robert and Adam Sandler's movies are in.
Was she Grandma?
She was the nymphomaniac, like Golden Girls. Yes, and it was a hilarious comedic role. But I got to meet Shirley Jones, and I got to confess to Shirley Jones since it's Day of Atonement here at the Jake and Spike Show, I guess.
Yeah.
She was the first crush I had, if I'm cleaning that up for the radio. Right? I mean, Shirley Jones.
Shirley Jones was the first person you
really, wow.
really liked.
That's something, yeah.
You said that's nice.
That's something.
How old were you?
Probably 10, 11.
Was this Partridge Family years?
No, this was in Oklahoma.
She was in Oklahoma?
Oh, yes.
I thought she was in Music Man.
She was in all of them.
Really?
She was the go-to for Rodgers and Hammerstein. Shirley Jones. That woman could sing. She wasn't just singing in Red Velvet, singing back up, banging a tambourine in the Partridge Family. What a waste of her talents that was.
Weird haircut.
I got
too.
to tell her. I got to tell her when I met her.
Really?
Yeah.
What'd you tell her?
She was, I don't know if I can use the term cognitive awareness, I guess.
First time you were.
First time I was ever. I felt funny and I knew
online.
why. I knew why.
She said, "Oh, what's this feeling?"
Zoinks.
I like this feeling.
Thanks, Shirley Jones.
I got to meet one time. You remember Karen Allen?
Of course.
Indiana Jones?
Of course.
She came in the studio here. And I was like, I just looked out the window because I was producing for Dory at the time. I looked out there. Karen Allen standing right there from Indiana Jones.
What was she promoting? Do you remember?
I don't remember. Doesn't matter.
Because for Animal House, that's when we found her. Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that's Karen Allen. Now, the frightening part for me is like, I'd only ever known her as like young Karen Allen.
Yeah.
Is this Partridge Family? Or is this just out music?
This is Blood and Roses, if I'm not mistaken. The song is, yeah.
Boy, those Partridge kids
They can play.
But Karen Allen.
Let me tell you my Danny Bonaducci stories about music someday. I can't play a note.
You didn't. That didn't bring you online, I hope.
No.
I got a picture of Karen Allen though. She still looked great.
She's a wonderful.
She was like,
actress.
I think she might have been
Brilliant.
promoting the. No, it wasn't the new Indiana Jones movie, but she was in that one.
Didn't she do a kind of a reappearance?
She came back.
Yeah.
Yep. It's tough to see the people you like getting old.
I know when hearing your heroes when you meet them in their you remember them in their glory, their cinematic glory.
Yeah, she still
in their
looked great.
early 20s.
I
had that experience with Shirley Jones.
I think she was probably in her early 70s at the time, maybe. I don't know how old she was exactly, but I had only ever seen her as like
she's in her early 70s now,
28-year-old, 29-year-old when I was a very smallest child.
You bet.
How old is she now?
She's 73 now.
73 now. So this is probably
a couple years ago.
No, this is 8 years ago. She's probably mid to early 60s. I bet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Scrooged. Remember that? Oh,
I don't. But
she was his
Indiana Jones. That's all I needed.
Lumpy. She was his.
Lumpy. That's a horrible name.
Remember, she was his long lost, never realized love in Scrooged. Bill Murray Scrooge.
Lumpy.
She called him Lumpy though because he bonked her head when they met.
She called him Lumpy.
Yeah.
I thought he called her Lumpy.
No one should ever call a woman Lumpy. That's not a term of endearment.
All right. Something's happening at WNBA games. Talking about bringing people online. Something's happening at these WNBA games, and people are very surprised that it's happening. Ironically, a lot of people are now tuning into WNBA games
it's
to
a
see
real,
if this happens.
real fan grabber.
Will this continue? We will talk a little bit about it next. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens.
Are you looking at senior living options for you or a loved one? If so, you likely have many questions like, what can I afford? How long will my savings last? And if I run out of money, will I have to move out? If these questions are weighing on you, I'm here to talk you through different solutions. Hi, I'm Amanda from Care Partners Senior Living. At Care Partners, we're focused on offering high-quality, compassionate care at very affordable prices to help stretch and preserve your assets. And if you ever run out of funds and need to convert to Medicaid, you won't have to move. We have vibrant communities throughout Western Washington, Spokane, and Arizona offering independent, assisted living, and memory care. Our caregivers are some of the most loving and genuine people you'll ever meet. Stretch your assets, preserve your estate, and never worry about moving. That's peace of mind in the Care Partners Living Difference. Learn more at carepartnersliving.com. Care Partners is excited to announce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, Snohomish, and North Creek Bothell. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Hi, it's John Curley. Longevity Medical Clinic has been helping people live longer, healthier lives for more than 25 years. I've recently talked with Dr. Mixon about his approach to proactively focusing on prevention. Dr. Mixon, I first met you in 2009, and I went in there and I told you I wasn't feeling well, couldn't gain any muscle mass, couldn't sleep well, I was stressed out, and you looked at me and you said, yeah, I know what your problem is.
And all we did was we measured your values and we moved your values back to those of a nice, healthy 25-year-old man.
I have taken your blood work to my doctor, and he was shocked. He couldn't believe the depth in which you study my blood.
We need to draw a distinction between living a long time and getting old. And that's what longevity is all about, is we are here to do the measurements and help you fix those problems.
So get your free health analysis. Go to longevitymedicalclinic.com. That's longevitymedicalclinic.com.
By texting 26022, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from tax lien code. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at taxliencode.com.
Imagine waking up and not needing to rush. No commute, no emails, no boss. Just coffee, sunlight, and the freedom to choose. That's the power of tax lien investing. It's been around for over 200 years, used by banks, hedge funds, and the wealthy. And now, finally, it's being taught right here in Seattle. It's secure, predictable, passive income backed by real estate and mandated by state law. And it pays you % returns. You don't need to own property. You just need to see how it works and how to do it right. We've taught over 100,000 students, and we'll teach you for free at a live masterclass right here in Seattle. If you're ready to start building real wealth through tax lien investing, this is it. Text LEARN to 26022 to reserve your free seat. That's LEARN to 26022. But hurry, seats are limited. Text LEARN to 26022.
Planning a road trip? Plan a visit to your neighborhood Bucky's Complete Auto Repair for oil changes, brakes, AC repair, and factory maintenance. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit buckys.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. An Army sergeant is in custody after shooting soldiers at Fort Stewart in Georgia. CBS's Matt Piper has the latest.
In all, 5 soldiers were shot. All are in stable condition and expected to survive, though 2 were taken to a hospital in Savannah about 40 miles away.
We have identified the alleged shooter as Sergeant Cornelius Radford, an automated logistics sergeant assigned to 2nd Brigade Combat Team.
Brigadier General John Lubis.
The shooting occurred at the soldier's place of work. It did involve his co-workers. We're still not certain about the motivations, but again, he's been interviewed by Army investigators.
Matt Piper, CBS News.
Just days after passing a resolution to tax rich corporations like Amazon, Seattle says it is still facing a $150 million budget shortfall. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey explains.
Seattle's projected deficit for the next 2 years is $176 million, thanks to a combination of slow job growth and higher inflation from tariffs, which, according to Ben Noble with the city's Office of Economic and Revenue Forecasts,
that combination is a bit of a recipe for disaster.
Because changes in the national interest rate to offset slow growth could mean more inflation, while keeping the interest rate where it is could mean stagnation. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Tacoma is suing Sound Transit. It claims the crews hit city electrical lines twice during a link extension project. This happened back in August of 2022. The damage caused outages and nearly $400,000 in repairs. Tacoma says it sent invoices to Sound Transit and to contractors, but nobody paid up. News Tribune reports none of the companies responded to requests for comments. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch reports on a wild chase and crash in Tacoma.
Tacoma police say it all started when a man on a stolen motorcycle crashed into a vehicle at South 56th Street and Tacoma Mall Boulevard. The rider fled, and the motorist gave chase and pulled a gun during the pursuit. Both rider and driver then crashed into another car and kept going, and that driver joined the chase and gave updates to 911. Officers eventually caught up, and the rider and the driver who pulled the gun were arrested. Fortunately, no one was injured. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Out of the real-time traffic desk report brought to you by Washington 811. We start in Bellevue on 405 northbound. A disabled vehicle blocking the left lane. This is near Bridle Trail State Park. Got about a 2-mile backup, approaching 520. In Marysville, northbound I-5 at Northeast 116th, a collision blocks the right lane. Travel times for you right now, Renton to Puyallup taking you close to 1 hour. Linwood to Seattle, 42 minutes. Bellevue to Renton is thick at a downtown, about a 32-minute drive, though it does clear up once you pass Factoria. Tacoma to Olympia is approaching 45 to 50 minutes at the moment. If you are digging in your yard, the law requires you to call 811 to avoid dangerous and costly damages to utility lines. Call 811 or submit online at digsafewa.com. Weather update now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing clearing as the night goes on. Will stay partly cloudy for tonight. Some showers lingering into tomorrow morning, mostly for the Cascade foothills and parts of South King County and Pierce County. Right now, 68 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. I got to be honest, I don't even know how to talk about this story without, because we got to be kind of serious because it's not a fun. It's like they shouldn't be doing this.
It's an inappropriate and possibly dangerous thing to do.
Very possibly dangerous.
Yeah.
Just a quick explainer. Here's what's happening at WNBA games. A few days ago, I think inside a week, right? It's just a week ago, somebody threw a green, like a very bright green-colored neon. We're a family show, so I want to be safe in saying this and maybe plug your kids' ears. But I guess you could say a sex toy.
Yeah, that's the safest, most respectful way to phrase that.
They and even going forward, I don't want to say that a silicone
appendage
something.
Yeah.
A week ago, they threw a green silicone thing down onto the court of a WNBA game. It stopped the game. They had to take it off the court. Obviously, you can't play basketball with that on the court. Very confusing. And so they got rid of it. A couple days later,
copycat.
Another one, copycat crime. Another one comes flying down onto the court. Yeah. And Sophie Cunningham, who's a player for the plays for the Indiana Fever.
Yeah, you bet.
She plays alongside Caitlin Clark.
Mm-hmm.
She's very popular. The WNBA, I got to say, has had just a
They're having a moment.
They're having a moment where people are paying attention in a way, that they want. I mean, they're getting a lot of attention these days. Probably not this is the exact attention that they wanted, but they're getting a lot of attention. So she put out this is just August 1st. This is just 5 days ago. When the second one was thrown onto the court, she put out a tweet or a post that said, "Stop throwing these items onto the court. You're going to hurt one of us." Which is true. I mean, you're playing professional sports at that level.
You bet.
You don't want to be distracted. You don't want somebody hurting you. Somebody could slip.
Roll an ankle.
It is, roll an ankle.
You bet.
Yeah. So she's playing, I think this was this yesterday or the day before that this happened? It's within the last 2 days.
Yeah.
Indiana Fever, LA Sparks are playing. So 2 days ago, 2.5 days ago, 3 days ago. Indiana Fever, LA Sparks are playing. And what do you know? Something green is caught on camera flying down on the court. This is the announcers. Everybody notices it at the same time. Sophie Cunningham, ironically, she ends up getting hit by it in the leg, not in a hard way, but like enough to surprise you.
Yeah.
Anybody throwing anything, and and she kind of laughed it off, and obviously like kind of grossed out by it as anybody would be. And so this was the announcers kind of talking about it at the time.
And you see some fans pointing to who the potential guilty culprit could be. We've seen this going on now around through the league, Mary, and it's ridiculous. It's got to stop. Shameful.
It's got to stop.
Yeah, it does. Agreed.
What's okay? I want to play devil's advocate for a second.
Sure.
And I'm not even advocating for this. I'm just saying the WNBA is getting a lot of attention. I'm not saying this should encourage the activity at all. That's not what I'm arguing.
No.
What I am saying is they've got a real problem on their hands now because this has now become a thing. It's now a meme. It's a thing that people are going to continue doing. There was nearly a fourth one. They actually found a picture. Somebody actually found a picture of a fourth one that almost made its way onto the court at the same Indiana Fever LA Sparks game. But as it was thrown, it hit another fan before it got its way onto the court, and then it got onto the floor.
My nightmare.
Yes. If you're just struck by one of these silicone devices, which again we're not saying.
I'm shocked they're making it through security, to be honest.
And how?
If you think about bag sizes these days.
Don't they do scans?
Aren't they supposed to be clear? Don't you need a clear bag to enter a stadium these days?
Clear
bag, bright green thing.
Your imagination can run with you how they're getting these into the stadium. I don't know, and I don't want to know. This is not. There are some weird traditions. Listen, it'd be a shame if this was the WNBA's new tradition.
Oh, please! Oh no! Don't even
because
put the idea in
hockey,
in the world.
like the Detroit Red Wings
octopus,
in hockey,
you bet.
They have the octopus.
You bet.
Which started back in 1952. They were trying to make the playoffs, and somebody threw a dead octopus onto the ice, and it kind of caught on, and now they've been doing it ever since.
Superstition's a powerful thing, and now it's what was a hat trick in Detroit, right? When there was a hat trick scored. And people sneak in like octopus, real octopus, to the games, and they let it go because it's harmless.
Yeah,
it's harmless,
and it's an octopus.
And it's ice.
And there's like a kid in the audience. They're not seeing an octopus and going like, "Hey, what's that?" They know it's an octopus, and that's okay. But this is a different thing because now there's these are family games.
If you threw octopus on the court at a WNBA game, would that be
sure,
eight times the enthusiasm?
Much more desirable, probably than, but. It's interesting because they're now you can go on one of these like poly market sites. You can go on these like betting sites.
Uh-huh.
You can bet on what the next one.
No.
This is not a joke. You can bet on what the color of the next one is going to be because it will happen. There's a guy, and he actually came up with like kind of an interesting idea. There's a guy who posted a video about how to make a lot of money. You might end up in jail for a couple nights, but how to make a lot of money, and he explains it.
In the last few days, we've had 2 different instances of these being thrown onto the WNBA court.
This is before the third one.
And because everyone's degenerate sports gamblers, they started putting odds on the next color, and this got me thinking. I could buy a seat close enough to actually throw this device for only $224.35. I can also bet $5,000 on blue for the next color at plus $1,400, which pays out $70,000. I then can have every single one of my friends also put $5,000 on the color blue, so they each make $70,000. And I'll just take a little cut. For a $225 ticket, $15 in silicone purchases, a $30 to maybe $40 Uber. Also, maybe you're probably going to go to jail for a night or two. Maybe some fines, probably banned from the WNBA. A lot of negatives here. But you would walk away with $70,000, and so would all of your friends.
This guy should watch Casino. He should fast forward to the scene where they catch the cheater being taken in the back room.
Oh, yeah, that's bad.
With the table saw and the hammer. Because if this guy,
that's old school Vegas. I don't think they're going to do that at a WNBA game.
I think if this guy confesses that I'm going to bet on something and then rig the outcome myself, I think he's pretty much, ruined his chances of walking with a $70,000 plus.
Gamblers are always going to try to find an edge. This guy found a good edge. He found a giant soft
edge.
Blue edge.
This happened. I told you this happened like 6 years ago in a Buffalo Patriots game. In NFL,
in the NFL.
In the NFL,
somebody threw one of these devices.
Somebody threw one of those, and it made. Not only did it make network television, when they showed the slow motion replay of the play itself,
you have it up right now.
They showed the NFL showed a slow motion replay before they realized the editors in the production bay. You are now showing the slow motion replay of a
device
of a silicone marital aid, being thrown onto the field. And my question was this. That was flesh-colored in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Was it less offensive being neon green in the WNBA, the dub?
That's a great question. I don't know if I can answer that question.
I think I personally found the neon green one to be more.
You found it to be more
playful.
So you found
jovial.
You found it less offensive.
Less offensive to be in neon green.
Okay. They should obviously stop.
They should stop.
Yeah, they should.
You expect that from Buffalo fans.
Listen, we're all covering the news story now. It's going to happen again.
It's going to happen. Spell it right. WNBA.
It's going to happen again until it becomes a passe. And then so everyone's going to go, all right, enough is enough. Don't be the dork.
Yeah. And how's that guy not in jail? I mean, they got cameras everywhere.
The first guy got arrested.
Good.
The first guy who did it.
Throwing anything onto a court is bad.
Should you be arrested for that, though? That's an interesting question. Should you get arrested for throwing an octopus? Get ejected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
go to
maybe
jail.
banned from the arena.
Yeah, banned from the arena. That's fine. Yeah, I'm fine with that. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Text messages coming up next. We'll be right back.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
While you're getting ready every morning, make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
Hey, it's summer, and there's no better time to protect your home with the help from the pros at Integrity Roofing and Construction. With years of experience in roofing and restoration, their skilled team delivers exceptional craftsmanship, whether it's a simple roof repair or a complete full renovation. Integrity offers free estimates, and their customer satisfaction speaks for itself. Don't wait until the next storm hits. Schedule your free estimate today. Call Integrity at 206-202-ROOF. That's 206-202-ROOF, or you can visit them online at integrityrc.com. integrityrc.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Are you worried about economic conditions, tariffs, and inflation? Are you tired of trying to time the stock market? Maybe it's time to take a little risk off the table given current market volatility. For stability, there's no better option than Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, a fixed return of 9%. Hi, I'm Scott Rurucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. We've been running local real estate investment funds for over 18 years with zero investor losses, averaging double-digit returns since inception, and we also accept IRAs. Over 1,000 local investors have invested over $250 million in our Legacy family of funds. Feeling uneasy? Don't gamble your hard-earned money or risk your retirement. Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, returning 9%, has limited openings for new investors right now.
Call 425-635-4700 or visit LegacyG.com. That's LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Legacy investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
I just saw 2 houses for sale. Same neighborhood, almost identical, but one had an Orchard sign and it sold for way more. So I asked my friends at Orchard, why? The first house used a traditional agent. After weeks of price drops and frustration, they settled for less than they'd hoped for. The second homeowner chose Orchard and got more. Their local Orchard agent didn't just list a home, they marketed it. They knew exactly which upgrades would attract serious buyers and brought in a pro to handle everything. And even more, with Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, the homeowner moved into their new home before their old one even hit the market. They skipped all the hassles and showings. Never settle for less. Get more with Orchard, the smarter, faster, hassle-free way to buy your new home, even before your old home sells. Start with Orchard's free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it hard to fight flu, pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer. Beat rising costs at Lake Washington Windows and Doors. For a limited time, save with 20% inflation discounts and 18-month free financing. Go to lakewashingtonwindows.com.
The summer warehouse clearance sale is on now at Bob's Heating. We have an overstock of 2024 cooling equipment and everything must go. Save 30% on all 2024 air conditioners and heat pumps while inventory lasts. Once these units are gone, they're gone. So now is your chance to save. As temperatures start to heat up, we'll help you cool down with our summer warehouse clearance sale. Call Bob's for your free estimate today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
All right. You got your text messages, lots of fun topics today. Boy, this is a weird bunch of stories we had today. But Laura, why don't you start us off?
On the man humping a refrigerator in Trader Joe's.
Excellent.
There was that person who married a car. Appliance love is next.
Somebody
I missed
married a
that
car.
story.
I don't remember that story.
I vaguely remember something to that effect. Jesse B says he felt like he was getting doinked by grocery prices. He was just returning the favor. I really cleaned that up, too.
That's actually very funny.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's a good defense in court.
Nice, Jesse. I like that. A.G. Meyer on the YouTube live stream says, this time the fridge was the snack.
Ouch.
What?
You haven't heard
You
that?
guys have dirty
No,
minds.
move along.
Whole snack.
No, I get that. I get
Or
it.
your whole meal.
No, I get
Even
it.
better.
I get it. This is young people are saying this?
The youths.
The Utes? The Utes?
Here all week.
There you go.
On Cheers or Booze for Pete and Gino coming back to Seattle on the other side of the field. Rick says standing ovation and a Blue Angels flyover.
That would be sweet. That would be very nice.
Diane and Everett says, I'll cheer Pete. He was the best coach we ever had. Love him. And then we'll beat the Raiders. Boom.
I do love Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
I really miss
Everyone
that
does.
guy.
Yeah.
He was the best. I loved everything about him. I loved the way he talked to the players. I loved how he interacted with the fans.
Ted Lasso energy.
Super Ted Lasso energy. Always super excited. Great attitude. I miss him, but, you can't have it forever, so good for him. I wish him the best. Oh, my turn.
Yeah.
On the usefulness of preseason football games, Cletus in Federal Way says, I think the fans would like to see the insanely overpaid athletes play. I disagree, Cletus. I'd rather just see them play games that matter. I don't really care as much for preseason games. I'm happy to see that football's back, but the games are never that fun to watch anyway because there's nothing on the line.
Yeah.
And it's like if there's no.
And it's guys fighting for second and third string positions. That's really what it is.
That's the only cool part is you get to see guys who are trying to win a spot on the field.
And they sell out.
That
big
makes it fun.
Time.
Yeah.
Dan Edmonds says Tony Romo was hurt on the opening drive of a preseason game against the Seahawks, and it ended his career.
Oh,
lesson learned, right?
That's crazy.
On the cancellation of Howard Stern's show, Benny the Tugboat Expert says, don't feel too bad. Stern is a billionaire, I'm quite sure. And I think you guys have a bigger audience.
Benny, you're sweet. You're very sweet.
And correct.
We'll take your compliment.
Benny's spot on, man. Stern is a billionaire. On Tiny Villages, 360 says giving someone that has been homeless in the past a place to call home allows them to try to find the help for their mental illness and their substance use disorder. That term is the proper DSM-5 term for someone who is facing addiction. So that's a clinical accepted terminology.
Interesting. I agree to disagree. I understand the terms. I understand there's medical terms for everything. I don't think there's anything wrong in calling somebody who's addicted to drugs a drug addict. It may not feel nice to you, but I don't think it's the worst thing. And I do think Tiny Alpine Village is a genuinely interesting, new, good idea. So I hope that they consider it.
Kay says they should offer the tiny houses through Costco. They start at about $11,000 each.
Yeah, that's the thing that I can't get around too. Everything, when it's done through the state, is more expensive. Yeah. You go onto Amazon. Honestly, we've been looking at a lot of like ADU stuff because now we have that rule in Washington State that every property could put an ADU in.
Sure.
You can get nice ADUs from Amazon. Just open up and set them up for like $20,000.
Wow.
They're paying $60 for these.
And they're one room for the door.
Just order them all through Prime, and they'll even deliver them for free.
If you're Prime, the city's a Prime member.
I'm sure the state's got to be a Prime member, right?
Yeah. Kevin in Seattle says, at least with a door and a roof, service providers have a chance to help them.
And 425 says, my son was addicted to oxy and heroin and has been clean for 18 years. The only reason he decided to get clean is because he had to live on the streets, not because he had a safe place to lay his head down. He got beat up and found out that he hated being beat up. Make it hard, so they want to do something different.
Wow. I want that to be the last text because I do want to just say to 425, God bless you and your son. I am so thrilled for you that your son came through that. I cannot imagine as a parent going to sleep every night thinking about your child who is suffering from that addiction, which I understand it is an addiction, suffering from that and having to live on the streets. That is the scariest thing for a parent.
Amen.
And some tough love. Your son got through it, and God bless you guys. And I'm thrilled for you. That's amazing. And thank you for texting us. All right, we have a lot more tomorrow, so come back tomorrow. Stick around for the John Curley Show coming up next, and we'll see you back here then. Bye-bye.
Ah, summer in the Puget Sound region. Hanging at the beach. A nice coffee on a long walk with the pooch. And so much time sitting in traffic every weekend, literally going nowhere.
We've all felt it. Big construction projects are underway across the region, and I can help you get around the big delays.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru. Get all of Sully's choke points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Spike O'Neill here. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens gave me back the perfect vision I had up until a few years ago. Now, never need glasses again. Never develop cataracts. Been about 6 months since my RLE surgery. My vision is better than it's ever been in my life. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens, privately owned, no corporate shareholders or boardrooms. Dr. Sharp built his business on the principle of always strive to overaccomplish, never overprice. Call 425-451-2020 or go online to sharp-vision.com. That's sharp-vision.com. Official eye care providers of Sounders FC.
I'm here with Jonathan from DUI Heroes to discuss an easy mistake to make when you get pulled over for DUI.
You don't have to perform voluntary tests like the standardized field sobriety tests or the voluntary preliminary breath test out on the roadside. They're voluntary by nature, which means you can simply say no thank you. You also can ask to speak with a lawyer immediately.
Which is where DUI Heroes comes in. 1-800-DUI-HERO or DUIHeroes.com, your DUI defense specialist.
If you've got a gas-powered engine,